To the party, everybody. I am your host, Lutch, aka TheIndianJesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. And I am excited for tonight. Oh, am I excited? Real quick, though, want to give a shout out to the replay gang. Thank you so much for coming through and watching. But you missed the best part, you being here. That's the best part, but you're still going to enjoy it, so don't worry. But every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, be right here, and sometimes whenever I feel like it. So hit the subscribe button, ring the bell, set notifications to all, and get over here. How's everybody doing tonight? I am super stoked for this one. Oh, almost forgot. That's how excited I am. I almost forgot to shout out the sponsor of the stream, MySickShirt.com. Whatever your persuasion, they've got something for you. And of course, it is the only place to get your very own official TheIndianJesus merch. Only at MySickShirt.com. All right. So I know a lot of us here are fans of Abba and Preach. If you're not fans of them, you definitely know who they are. And we've actually been talking a lot about Abba specifically lately. You know, I don't talk too much about like their content because they do these short video on demand reactions, and that doesn't really work too well into what I do. But you know, when Abba was talking a lot to blanking on me now. What's his name? Sneeko. See, banned for a month, and I don't even remember who he is. But when he was talking to Sneeko a lot, he was on a lot. We listened to him. We heard from him, but it was always just him. And I understand that, you know, that like Abba and Preach are not like friends, like boys, like they hang out, like they're colleagues. They work together. And so they don't really hang out outside of doing videos. So it makes sense. And like, you know, Abba's, you know, pretty typical like video game anime type dude. So he's going to be online more. Whereas Preach is more, I think he's a little bit older. He's married. And I don't know what else he does, but you don't see him on Discord. So when I found a podcast with just Preach and found out that his name was Erich with an H, I was like, oh, we gotta check this out. So I didn't really watch any of this. I don't know who the host is. It's some woman, Jedediah Bila. Never heard of her. Don't know who she is. But apparently, I saw a short. Well, okay, so I didn't watch none of it. But I heard about it from the Valuetainment Short Clips channel. So she's part of that. You know, with Patrick Bet David and the Money Guy. That whole team. She's part of that. But again, I'm not too familiar with who she is, what she does. But I know that Preach always has interesting things to say, and I've never heard him speak in long form before. So I figured, let's do it. So if you are here, say hello, say salute, something. Let me know you're here, and let's get this started. That's our girl, Jedediah. As always, you guys know the sound can sometimes be cannot come through on StreamYard. So do me a favor and just make sure you can hear the video. If you cannot hear the video, then please let me know. I don't know if I can get away with that. Really? We're doing this tonight?
And just be like, I'm out. No, can't do that. What do men and women really want? We're going to talk it out with our amazing guest. Feminism.
Uh-oh.
I think so. Social media and its impact on dating. What is that doing to the whole dating world? Instagram, TikTok, you know it. And so much more. Also, you know I'm going to get politics in dating in there. So if you got two people, you got a liberal and you got a conservative, and they're trying to make babies, is that going to go well? We're going to break it down. Maybe. And the person that we have here today to do it all with is Mr. Erich Preach.
That's me.
Who came in super suave.
Hey, there is our boy. Oh, well, I paused it on it. But yeah, when have you ever seen him without Abba?
Energy, by the way, compared to my crazy, which is good because
I can match your crazy. I can match your crazy. If you want to go there, First, we have to talk about your music. I don't know who's complaining.
There you go.
But it matches.
It fits me, right?
So, I mean, what did you expect?
Exactly. That's what I say. Listen, I like to dance.
I don't know if this is just a content creator thing, but I always find it interesting how people position their microphones. They have the same mic with the same boom arm in the same position, but he likes that coming down more, where she likes more straight in front of her face. And I have found that maybe this is just me, and this is just anecdotal evidence, but I have found that more often men don't like the you know, maybe it's just a thing, maybe it's just a coincidence, maybe it's Maybelline, who knows?
Dance a little bit. I like to, I like to keep people on their toes. And I'm girly. I said, this is what listen, I don't, this is a little bit.
Hey.
Listen, don't mess with the Italians off the bat.
I don't think you're in Florida, Fort Lauderdale. I don't think you want to mess with the Haitians.
That's true. That's very true. Let me intro you. Let me intro you a little bit. He needs no introduction. We know that. But he is half of Abba and Preach, Erich Preach. His channel, you guys have blown up. I remember checking the channel before the pandemic. I think it was at
I thought she said your channel, and I thought she was about to talk about his channel. I was like, wait, he has a channel too?
100K or something, which is good. Don't get me wrong. That's awesome. But now it's at 1.8 million subs. So it blew up. People are loving their message. So we're going to get into it right now. I want to start with that. Why do you think that happened? I mean, that's a huge jump.
Well,
why?
I think there's a couple of things. Well, the first one is pandemic, right? First thing is pandemic.
Obviously.
Right before the pandemic, it was at 35. The pandemic happened, so everything was canceled.
I wish more of you guys were here, but those on the replay, let me know in the comments. How many of you were watching Abba and Preach before the lockdown times? Because I've been on them for at least a couple years by then. And I just, this is way before I even encountered like red pill stuff. I just found them randomly, and I was like, oh, I like this. How long you guys been watching Abba and Preach?
That's what we have to do. So let's just do that. Let's just focus on that. So we focus on the channel, and we decided to go on the
And those of you who don't know, both Abba and Preach are stand-up. They do stand-up comedy. They are both into dance of some sort. And then I believe Preach also does some type of bartender, bodyguard, doorman, bouncer type job as well. So they're very, they're very focused outside of just the Abba and Preach channel. But yeah, I found them a couple years before the lockdowns, but apparently most people found them when they had nothing else to do.
one video per day. And so people just had that for the first couple of months, depending on where you were in the world. The only thing that you had to do was to watch YouTube and your online thing. So that's where we that's what happens. I'd say that the COVID helped us, and
Yeah, just say it.
And
Why do you think your channel though? Because there were so many options. I think a lot of people were in your head at that time, like in that same headspace where they were saying, okay, stuff is shut down, people are going to be online, they're home. But people flocked to you guys for not everybody's channel blew up like that. What was it about your message, you think, or your delivery or your topics?
I'll tell you what it was for me. Specifically for me, because I think it seemed like they were just on their initial upswing to where they were pre-lockdown. When I first saw them and was like paying attention to them, and they had the numbers. I wasn't a content creator back then, so I wasn't paying as close attention to numbers. But they had a significant channel. They had a good flow, but there was just the level of authenticity that even now at 1 million plus subscribers, they still stand in the same spot with the creaky floor. They have the stuff on the walls behind them. It's just a camera and them. I remember when they were going through that whole beef with Fresh and Fit. That was one of the things that Fresh and Fit tried to lob at them as an insult. Like, oh, just stand one, your creaky ass floors and your road mic. It's like, yeah, dude, you got this whole ass studio and everything, and we're still better than you. So for me, it wasn't just the authentic takes and the willingness to go there, the willingness to say things that other people were not as willing to say. Especially, this was when wokeism was again right on the rise, and cancel culture wasn't really in full swing yet. But people were starting to realize, okay, it's not the 90s anymore. We can't just say whatever we want. So that's what brought me and kept me at Abba and Preach. And I have to assume a lot of people feel the same way. But let's see what he's got to say.
People were just saying, we love this.
I don't really know, but one thing that I know is that if you look at the media, there's a lot of polarization. Everything is very left, very right, very
polarization.
It's very man, very female. It's like, yo, can we just talk? Can we talk? Can we just sit down and talk and have a conversation and just let's see everybody's point, and let's be able to understand the other point of view so that we can just advance. Like, it's not because I sit down and I talk to you and I disagree that. Just in friendship in general, people tend to think that whenever you're friends with someone, you're supposed to agree with everything your friends do.
Remember, and this was a conversation with Abba, that Sneeko was like, they were talking about Andrew Tate, and they were talking about how Sneeko was saying, it's so stupid. It's so stupid how some people will be like, well, I believe in some things you say, or I agree with some things you say, but not everything. Again, yes, dude, that is how a thinking person operates.
And that's not the case. I could be your friend and disagree with you. I could be your family member and disagree with you. That's gonna be fine. I understand where you're coming from, but I don't agree with that. That doesn't serve me any purpose, anything like that. So it's just trying to bring that to the table, that kind of conversation where I cannot agree and still be able to talk to you and not be like, well, you're like that.
Yeah,
that's everybody.
it's very real. Your channel is very real. Like, I feel like your reactions, when you start
Mhm.
cracking up about something, like, you're really laughing. You
Yeah.
know, it's genuine. Or
Yeah.
if you're like, you gotta be kidding me. I saw a clip the other day. You were responding to, you guys were joking about something that happened on The View, and I used to work there.
The sickness.
And I just was like, this is a genuine reaction. So I think people sense that. And
Guys, if you're just joining, we are checking out this podcast with only Preach, not Abba, which I have never seen before. I would love if you could hit the like button on the way in, and welcome to the party.
it doesn't seem agenda driven what you're doing. It's not like, oh, we're out to push this agenda. You're just kind of saying how you feel, which is a welcome thing.
Yeah, it can
especially
be
in
nice,
today's
but
world.
some people can not understand it because it's like that when you choose it. You're supposed to buy food. I'm Brady. You know what I mean? So everybody's gonna go. It's gonna be, you know, that whenever you have a way of thinking, some people, there's some things that people can agree with, disagree with, and some fans something it's like I agree with everything you say.
Hey, we got D-Mac in the building. Bah, 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 bah. The sickness. It is a sickness. What is going on, brother? Glad to see you. Glad to see you.
Everything.
That's
Like,
what
I
there's
don't
something wrong.
agree. I don't agree with everything I say.
All right, you
Like
change your mind.
sometimes I say something, I just see a video on the spot, I'm like this and that and that and that. And I just go on a commentary and I think back about what I said. And I'm like, oh wait a minute, maybe I didn't. I need to give that a second chance and go back to that. So
Yeah, I had that moment initially as well. I'm someone who's the same as you in the sense that like I will come back on and I'll say, you know what, guys, I thought about that, and I thought about, you know, because I'm just a free thinking person. I'm not interested in trying to be the Republican or the.
Interesting how just today, Abba Preach released a video about, I don't know if I put it on my community tab, but the video that went around, it was viral a while ago, where there was a girl who had a TikTok, and like she had her phone like this, and she's like, well, I just got stood up for a Tinder date or whatever, Bumble date, and then she's like, well, I somebody should see my outfit, and then she puts the phone down and backs up, and you can't tell from her face, but she's a big girl. And everybody was, you know, like, oh, you catfish, like, you know, all using the MySpace angles. Those of you remember those days. Abba Preach did a video on that when that happened. And, you know, false advertising and and, you know, not necessarily insulting her for being fat, but certainly, you know, not being nice about it. It came out that that story was complete bullshit, that she put up something and showed her dating profile, and it was very honest with who she was. So whoever matched with her and stood her up knew exactly what they were getting into. And she's like, look, I don't call myself curvy. I know that I'm fat. I put it all out there. I got a beach pic with my belly out there. Like, this is what it is. If you want it, then word up. If not, then keep pushing. So, and that's before Jedediah here was talking about, I realized you spelled her name wrong, about, you know, responsibility and correcting yourself.
You know, whatever, red pill, or, you know, like I don't, like I feel what I feel. But I remember when Andrew Tate stuff first came out, I got sent a bunch of short clips, and I was like, who is this dude? Had a reaction. And then I did a lot more research and came back and said, well, wait a minute, he's right about this, and this sounds good to me, and maybe, you know, so we got to be free thinking people at the end of the day.
If we pass on the Andrew Tate thing, I mean, instead of trying to see like the cancel and not trying to hear what he's saying, like I don't agree with everything he says, of course, but
I agree with some things. Just kidding.
Why? Ask your question. Why is it so appealing to so many people? There's something there.
What do you think it is? What do you think his appeal is?
Well,
so if I feel that question, what do you think Andrew Tate's appeal is? Because he's not the only one talking about the things that he talks about. I think similar to Kevin Samuels, he has a willingness to say it in a way that he knows is going to rub people the wrong way. In fact, that's precisely what he said when he was on the Valuetainment podcast himself, is that he can choose to say men are typically stronger than women, but he instead consciously chooses to say women are weak. And that sparks the conversation in his direction. Now, later on, after he got canceled, he realized, okay, maybe my delivery was an issue, but Kevin Samuels never had to do that. So I think maybe it wasn't that he was, just saying things the wrong way. It just maybe the degree to which he was putting it all out there was too much. But to get back to the original question of what is Andrew Tate's appeal, definitely the lack of filter, and that doesn't mean he doesn't speak deliberately. It just means when he thinks something, he's willing to express it.
I mean, in the media, we oftentimes go in one direction, right? And we forget. There's a lot of things that we forget and we go over. The narrative of sorry if I don't pronounce some certain words properly. English is not my first language. So. So whenever you have a narrative,
yeah, shuts out. I am taking jabs. I always love the funny ways that he says things, but as somebody who only speaks one language, I definitely appreciate any of you who speak English as a second language well enough to have a conversation. So it's all in good fun.
The narrative of feminism. We're gonna go into that.
Yeah.
Right?
All right, hold on. Let's back that up. I just want to make sure we got what we got. Yeah.
Properly. English is not my first language. So.
It's all good.
So whenever you have a narrative, the narrative of feminism. We're gonna go into that.
Yeah.
Right? I understand why feminism exists. There was a reason why it was there. There was definitely a reason.
Okay.
But all the examples that they take when you talk about, well, men have this, men are, it's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in the company there are more executive or chief executive or CEOs that are named Bob than women.
Yeah.
And I think that's a fair point. He always tries to, even more than Abba, even though they both do. I think because Preach has been married for most of his life and has never had to deal with the modern dating scene. He's a little bit more purple pilled, as TLA puts it. And they were, I forget who it was. Somebody was just talking about this exact talking point about how, so how many CEOs are da-da-da-da-da. It's like, well, how many CEOs are there? Period. Is that representative of anything? That just means 600 people are doing something that the rest of the 8 billion of us are not. So I get that is a point, but not really one that holds too much water. What is going on? We got Mike in the building. Welcome, buddy. Says Andrew Tate empowers men to be empowers man to be man. The rest of the world's trying to tear them down. Yeah, very well. Who should stop the interview? What are you talking about, homie? Come on.
And that's fine. But it doesn't mean that the whole gender of men is doing good. You're talking about a top 1%. We're not doing so good in other aspects of life. But we
Yes. Preach. Pun intended. This is precisely what I was just saying.
We went over that for some reasons that I understand, because there was some things that was supposed we needed to do something about the condition of women, and I understand that. But we never went back to whatever happened to men, and we're still suffering in those things. I understand that Andrew Tate took that and ran with it. His delivery is fucked up. But if I go to your door and I deliver a pizza upside down, it's a fucked up pizza. It's still a pizza. The delivery is fucked up. It's a mess.
Is it though? I'm just trying to nitpick that. I get his point. If it's upside down, it's still a pizza. I was trying to nitpick and make a joke, but I'm not that funny, I guess.
And I might not take right. I might if I order it, I'm like, nah. I'm pretty sure I ordered a pizza upside down. I didn't order a pizza upside down. So the delivery is a mess. But instead of saying, well, he's this, he's that, try to see why it's so appealing. It's appealing to so many people. There's an issue there.
Yeah, I mean, I think,
and that is exactly the position we took with Kanye being on Tucker Carlson. Is that so many people, now remember, this was before his DEFCON 3 comment, but so many people will either blindly follow, oh, yeah, he's a genius, or say that he's just batshit crazy. And I think it's somewhere in the middle. And I think that whichever it is, Yeah, dude, he's been had them. I think whichever it is or was about shit, I don't remember what I was saying. Where do we go? Hold on, let me back this up.
Is that try to see why it's so
Oh,
appealing?
Kanye. The fact that we just took the time to sit and actually break down what is it that Kanye was saying, we got a lot of value out of that. We got a lot of value out of that. That doesn't mean that we are now huge Kanye fans and we're voting for Kanye. Maybe you want to. But there was things there about being a Kanye, a Kardashian, being in that world that nobody else is going to tell you. But yeah, Preach has been had these dreads. He often has them up like this, and then in the videos, sometimes he usually rides his motorcycle to Abba's house, so he's got like the rag cover on. But yeah,
to so many people, there's an issue there.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the reasons, and I found him much more appealing once I looked at the long form content, the longer videos, because I don't think he works when he's edited down. Because
who does? Who name somebody who you have a better understanding of them by listening to a 20-second clip than you do listening to an hour-long podcast?
It's very, assertive in his commentary. And when you cut out a whole bunch of stuff before and after, it can be very easily misconstrued what he's saying. Which is
another reason why, not surprising, and I don't really know what the word is, but you would think by now we will have gotten used to, somebody who is gets clipped up like this, whether it's Sneeko, whether it's Andrew Tate, whether it's whoever. If they are being clipped up and you are seeing them from multiple accounts on TikTok and Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, maybe they're saying other stuff that's not in that clip that is making people want to clip them. And that's not even like in the red pill manosphere, whatever space. Think about a Ben Shapiro or a Candace Owens or any of these people who are infamous for being so awful. One is just like, MTG. Marjorie Taylor Greene is a perfect example. She sounds nuts. If you just listen to her in clips, the way she carries herself, and certainly the way that she uses Twitter is bombastic, kind of in the way that we saw of Trump. But you listen to her episodes of Timcast, she's a very normal ass lady. Like, I don't necessarily agree with everything that she says, but especially as far as politicians go, willing to sit down and have a 2-hour conversation is something most of them will not do. Mike said, I've never heard something that Andrew Tate said that he should be canceled of all platforms. Yep. Darshan said, Abba and Preach are just entertaining. They will never move the needle or change or a needle of change or sound solutions. I gotta disagree with you there. This is I gotta disagree with you. I think there is, especially somebody who doesn't like Fresh and Fit. They are single-handedly responsible for their takedown. Eventually, the DJ Academic, something would have gotten them taken down, but they were in their little space. Abba and Preach are maybe not mainstream, but certainly have a much wider audience. They don't have 1 million red pillars watching their videos. And calling them out and showing the hypocrisy of the some of these lower tier red pill guys, showing the hypocrisy and giving especially the youngers, I mean, hey brother, we chill. They're not politicians. Does that mean that because you haven't proposed a law that you haven't done anything? Who said they were talking about world solutions? What world solutions have you provided? You've written 2 books for adults that I think you would say you've changed a lot. No, I think you would say you've helped a lot of people. I think you'd say you've moved the needle of change and sound solutions for a lot of people with that information. I in terms of world solutions, men not ending themselves, men feeling like, oh, I'm not alone. Other people feel this way. Other people can't get laid either. I would say that is a world solution. So maybe we agree to disagree, but I definitely disagree with that.
I actually think he's appealing because I feel like men in society oftentimes feel like they're being neutered, they're being castrated, they're being like told they're toxic all the time. They're being, criminalized on second one sometimes for things without having the chance to even defend themselves. So this is a guy who's coming out and saying, guys, stand up for your masculinity, be proud of your masculinity and get your shit together, go to the gym, get those endorphins running. Don't be reliant on the system. And that's a very scary message, I think, to the system, but a very warm and endearing message to guys out there who were saying, yeah, you know what? Like, I can be self-sufficient. I can make X, Y, and Z happen. I'm not bad just because I am a guy. I'm not bad at all. Like, stop.
That's an interesting point, too, the juxtaposition that's a scary message for, as I would put it, the establishment, but it's very endearing to the men who need to hear it. Is the world solely about getting laid? No, of course not. Of course not. But as somebody who has spent periods of my life, which I don't think that once you hit puberty that you've ever, and man, can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think that you've ever spent an extended period of time not getting laid once you did. Now, I'm not, I'm all right. But how many times have you heard something about the incel community? And I don't even want to say the dude's name, not that I remember it, but he was like the martyr who went and ended a bunch of women or like pewed up her school or something. Why did he do that? I think it was because he wasn't getting laid, and he was talking with a bunch of other people who weren't getting laid. And they created a community about not getting laid. And that turned into a mass violent event. Privilege is invisible to those who have it. No, of course the world is not solely about getting laid. The world isn't solely about money. But if you don't have any, then it's much more important to you than somebody who has billions, isn't it?
Labeling me that way, I'm not accepting your bullshit anymore. So I think he's been a positive in many guys' lives, and they're drawn to him, and that's a reality. I think that scares a lot of the system as well.
But it's the same thing that we talk about when we talk about red pill. No, I don't consider myself a pill at all. There's a lot of messages that
I especially after this the DJ academics thing, especially after Sneeko getting banned, I'm not comfortable calling myself a red pill channel. I think I do men-centric content a lot of the time, but this is not a red pill channel. I personally may be a red pill individual, as much as I like to think so. Maybe not. Oh, Darshan came for the smoke. We might have to. You want to come up and do this with me? I'll DM you the link if you want to come up. We can tag team this. Yeah, I think that the label has, just like so many other labels, is getting toxified. It's getting toxified by people who are taking it to the extreme, and it's becoming the male version of feminism. It's becoming the male version of feminism. That it started out, like even Preacher said, it started out as a good thing to get equality for women. I don't want to speak for you guys, but I'm all for that. The fact of the matter is that can very easily go the other way. And you can start blaming everything on women just because that's what the red pill says. Mike says, alpha men are not pewing up schools. It's always weak beta males. Yeah, I mean, and to connect it back to what Darshan was saying, it's not the men who are getting attention from women who are doing this stuff. It's the guys who are not.
I don't agree with. But again, you have to understand why it's there. There's a thing. There's a reason why it's there. There's a reason why it doesn't appeal. So let's look at the appeal and why so many people are drawn into it.
You talked about feminism. You mentioned feminism.
Yeah.
And I completely agree with what you're saying in the sense that
Oh, Jesus.
feminism started for a reason, because women wanted the right to vote,
Yeah.
and they didn't have educational opportunities,
That's
and
right.
they couldn't go work. There were things that men could do in society that women were being denied. But now the movement has been distorted, and it's a very pro-promiscuity movement. It's encouraging women to sleep around, that's empowering. And I'm curious what your take is on that component. Like, there is a new wave of women now that believe it's good for them to sleep around with a bunch of guys, to not be monogamous, to, get an OnlyFans, to follow that route. Is that good for women, A? And is that appealing to men?
The thing is, to each their own.
Deshaun, just hit you up on Instagram.
There's some people that is going to be good for them. I don't think it's going to be good for everybody, right? More than is it good for women or is it bad for women? My take is more be accountable for what you do. If you decide to do that, take in consideration of what's going to come with that. You want to have an OnlyFans, you want to sleep around, you want to be an ex-worker. That's fine. Do you? Do you?
Hey, my guy with the YouTube language and an ex-worker. He knows what it is. Hey, we got Divine and Rod in the building. Ba, 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 ba. What are you crazy kids doing in here? I will tell you, sir. We are watching a podcast with just Preach. No Abba. We always see Abba or Abba and Preach, but I've never seen just some Preach. I want me some Preach. And our girl Jedediah Bila, I think her name is. You guys know how terrible I am with reading names, but she's got our boy here on the Valuetainment Network. They were just talking about Andrew Tate, and now they're getting into, has the feminist movement been distorted? Welcome, brother. Glad to see ya.
But you have to understand that certain things and certain aspects of your life are going to change. Know that some men are not going to be geared towards that.
That being ex-work or OnlyFans or anything like that.
It's going to be a very, 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 very lonely life. I have ex-worker friends. They tell me all the time. It's all fun and games, and we all talk about the money, and we all talk about the this and the that. And it's a very, very lonely life. It's just like I work. It's exactly like a superstar. I've worked in a 5-star hotel in Montreal, and all the superstars were going there. My job was to basically
humble brag.
Just kidding. Their meal whenever they ordered and stuff like that. It's a very lonely life. You want the superstar life? It's lonely because you do a show, you go out there, you have a bunch of love, everybody screams your name, everybody says you're great. You go back to your hotel room alone.
That is goals. I have no desire to be somebody who's got like a bunch of people all around. I love you guys. I love doing this show. I love talking to you guys. I love what we do. But what I love just a tiny bit more is the ability to be like, it's a little much. I got to go bye. And then I'm just alone in my apartment. Just me and Morty. Just me and Morty. I love that part. So, I don't know how long that is going to last. Word up. We may be getting some DMAC action in a few. No promises, but we'll see. But yeah, I hotel room alone, traveling the country, doing my thing. That sounds like a dream. Getting paid for it? Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
OnlyFans is that you put yourself out there, you get a lot of love, you get all these guys paying. But when you're trying to be intimate with someone, it's not everybody's going to be able to look at you and be like, yeah, that's what I really want. You want to do that? I'm not going to be like, it's that for you, whatever.
Right.
I ain't your mom, I ain't your dad.
Yeah. Right. It's that. Same here. I'm not hating on you. If you decide to be an ex-worker, I'm still a man. Or if you have an OnlyFans or, a lot of other things. But you are disqualified from being with me long term. That simple. Come on. Struggles.
But you have to be accountable. Accountability is much more important than whether it's good for you or bad for you. If you're taking your accountability, you take that, and you're conscious of what might happen, the reality of that job, the reality of the situation you want. A lot of women nowadays are telling people, I want to have a kid by myself. I don't care if I have
That is the most selfish fucking thing. That is the most selfish fucking thing that you can do. I'm just going to have a kid by myself. All that says is that you want something. And just like in the whole Schmartian debate, you're completely not even engaging with the notion that there's another person involved with that. Another person's entire livelihood, literally, is dependent on you, except in this part, they not only don't care before birth, they don't care after.
Okay. But be accountable about what you're going to put on that child. Like that. I'm not talking about a woman that was with someone and the dude left,
Right.
or something happened.
That's an unfortunate circumstance.
That's not what we're talking about.
Talking about by design.
I'm talking about you decide. You took the corporate decision to do that.
Right.
The corporate decision.
It's hard to raise a kid. It's
so, and I think that's what I'm getting at in terms of my message to women is always, and I speak to women in particular. I am a female, so I'm directing that message. But
are you though?
My message is do what you want. Live the life you want, make the choices you want, but you have to understand that these choices have consequences. And
I don't even like that messaging because I do like the notion that anybody should be able to do what they want. But that's a base level. Like, I shouldn't need to come to somebody else to have them tell me, or you shouldn't be coming to me for me to tell you to do what you want. That should be the default. Okay, I'm going to do what I want. What is it that I want to do? That's what I'm looking for. So maybe it's just different messaging, but it rubs me the wrong way because do whatever you want. That's how we got here in the first place. People just doing whatever they want. But to their point, it's doing whatever they want without accountability, without even factoring that in. So, again, maybe it's just a framing thing, but clean it up a little bit. Mike says, my daughter pointed out a girl that was dressed trashy and asked me, do men like that? And I said, yes, we look at it, but we don't want to marry her. She belongs to the streets. Yeah. I mean, how old is your daughter? I'm curious. That's because I mean, that's a good that's a good way to phrase it. And I'm thinking a younger girl, because obviously if she's asking, she's not a teenager, so she got to be younger. I'm gonna guess 6 years old. Wait a minute. She's 18. She's 18, and she doesn't know what guys think about dressing trashy. Well, maybe that just means you raised her right, homie. Maybe that means you raised her right. Congratulations.
What I'm seeing is a disconnect between that. There are women that are saying, well, I want to be promiscuous and I want to, have an OnlyFans and I want to do this, but I also want to be respected as if I don't. I want to be treated as if I don't. I want guys to forget about that and want to wife me up.
I want to have my cake and eat it too.
And the guys don't like it. They don't like a high body count on women and they don't like this stuff. So I'm trying to shake reality into women.
I don't even think that.
Bet you some, girl.
Having a high body count for men and women is damaging.
Mm-hmm. That's true, but the reality is that women don't care as much about guys' body count and their past as guys care about a woman's past and her body count. So that's just not what we can say. That's not fair.
Men care about a woman's past, where women care about a man's future.
That's not just. Why is it that way? It should be, because I'm not a fan of promiscuity across the board. I just think it's bad in general. My personal opinion. I don't tell anybody what to do, but I just don't think it's good for society.
She got.
But the reality is that the women,
I was like, she got a ring on.
Don't care the same way about the guy's body count. So you have to just deal in reality. And the bottom line is, a guy, if he goes through his early 20s and has a bunch of meaningless or whatever, he gets his body count up to say 20, whatever. A woman's not going to look at that and say, well, he has body count of 20. I'm not going to want to be with him. Mm-hmm. But a guy will look at a woman and be like, she was hopping in and out of everybody's bed. I don't want that. I want to go with this girl over here who has a body count of 2 and is teaching preschool and not a headache for me,
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get people, I guess, just to look at reality and make your decisions, but it's going to affect your life.
Just be conscious of the reality that we live in and who you're dealing with.
You gotta watch The Matrix. Don't be a bot. Take the red pill. No, that's where Sneeko would come in. Divine Rod said, because men's body count doesn't affect their ability to parabond, not parabond, Parabond, one word. And actually it does, just not nearly not nearly to the same degree. If you have, let's just say you have identical twins, and one of them is just for 20 years. Well, not let's let's say doing that for 10 years from age 18 to let's just say 30, so 12 years. And then the other twin is in serious relationships, maybe 3 or 4 serious girlfriends and 2 other hookups along the way. The one who was just plowing away is going to be less. It's going to have a lower ability than the other twin. But wait, you want to come up here? Come on. We got a Morty show. Hi. Hit the like button for Morty. If you don't, he will die. He's 12 years old. It could happen on this stream, and if you don't like, it's going to be your fault. But anyway, if you have a pair of women and they do the same thing, then the effects are going to be dramatically different. But yes, it does change in men, just not as much. The big part is that we're not as emotionally connected to the act of sex. I think in general, not all men, especially not the Giga Chads. I think in general, men are less attached to the act of sex, but are more likely to be in a situation where I don't know if that's true. I was going to say they're more likely to be in a situation where the sex isn't necessarily what matters. It's that they've fallen for the girl. And so that and the heartbreak there has something to do with it. But that's certainly, down to a neurological, neurochemical level. Absolutely. When it comes to women, then sleeping around is just, it's just a no-go. It's just a no-go.
Wanting everybody to change because you want to.
Hey, we got Erica, vegan soy. Welcome. Said, have you ever met Jesus? No, but I tried very, 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 very hard for a very long time, which is why I'm confident in being an atheist. Welcome, Erica. We are just watching Jedediah be alive. Got you. And talking to Erich Preach of Abba and Preach. Never seen Preach on his own before. So we are doing that. So I'm dropping the link. This is just for Darshan. Nobody else is allowed up. This is just for Darshan. But welcome, Erica.
According to how you move, it's not possible. Mm-hmm. Whether it's good for good intentions or bad intention, whatever. If you want everybody to move, I'm sorry, everybody. If you want everybody to move the way you
loser
move and understand the way,
yeah,
it doesn't work like that. It doesn't. So, yeah, they have to be conscious more than promiscuity, more than all of that. Be accountable. Right. There's a phrase that's been going around for a couple of years. It says, "The future is female." Okay.
Is it though? Actually, probably is, because females make 80% of consumer purchase options.
I think the future is accountability. So we made a shirt like that. The future is female, and it's written accountability, because I think that's more important. Just know how it's supposed to be out there. Be conscious.
Right.
It's like you just.
All right. So we got a guest here, my boy Darshan McAway, aka D Mac. How are you doing, brother?
I'm good. What's up with you, man?
Not much. Doing the thing. I hear you are ready for the smoke tonight.
I'm ready for the smoke. But first, let me start off by saying, I appreciate you for bringing me up. Right. I love what you're doing. You're doing big things. I see the numbers. I but I kind of want to go back just a little bit. I got some issues, just small issues with Abba and Preach.
Okay.
Right. So I noticed throughout the past year, I've been watching their content for an entire year. Right. Based off of what you've been reviewing for the entire year, I realized that Abba and Preach have not been coming up with any solutions. Usually when I talk to people on interviews or I just kind of watch certain things, I realize that they're coming up with solutions, which is the only reason. Let me tell you something. Clip this. The only reason I spoke to you to have an interview is because I realized that you can come up with solutions to end the problem. Okay?
Okay.
So clip that. Watching these guys, they don't come up with no conclusions. There's no conclusions to any of their videos. There's a conclusion to entertainment, but not a conclusion to solve the problem. That's what I was referring to. So it's going to be okay for you to react to the video, but I'm noticing, and this is the smoke for you, I'm noticing in the past 12 videos that you've done, the past 12, hear me clearly, there's no solution. The Indian Jesus, no solution. Give me an answer to all of your streams. Give me an, hold on. Just give me an answer to the past, just one answer to the past 12 streams that you have done.
Have
because
the conversation. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Just I'm gonna close out, because when you're doing reaction videos, just in my personal preference, I'm looking for the answer like, oh, okay, this is how I can do better. Cool.
So you never heard me say, stop trying to win the argument and just have the conversation.
Okay, that's cool. That's okay. Yes, that's the solution.
Keep and you don't have to agree, but this is my solution, to keep the religious talk out of politics.
Okay, that's two.
I think those are two pretty big ones.
Okay, that's too big, but okay, I'll give you that. I'll give you that. I will give you that, but that's not the end all be all. So I come from a place of, and this is just me personally. This is AKA D-Mac, Darshawn McAway, the only Darshawn McAway in the world, by the way. Realizing that people are looking for answers. We aspire to so-called influencers, YouTubers, if you will, and even celebrities to find out how to do it right. Even politicians. I can't speak on what I've done in the politician world because I've signed NDAs. I'm close friends with judges, but I've noticed that in my community, I have changed things by the influence of talking to certain judges, which is why I said what I said. And you made the snarky comment about, oh, Abba and Preach ain't changing laws, or we're not trying to change laws. Cool. I get that part because you don't know what I'm doing behind the scenes. But my thing is, I'm looking forward to people being of influence who are adults, men and women, to really change things. I'm so sick and tired of the excuses that people make. You're talking to a person who goes to sleep. I take a nap, I dream of an idea or a vision, and I make it happen. So with these conversations, whether it be male and female or whatever the influence is, I'm looking for people to change the world, because the world is going to recycle people out. So what part of the world you're going to be a part of? You're going to be the dead part or the alive part?
I mean, I definitely agree with that. We got a couple comments here. I think that they kind of go in line here. Demiron said these are group discussions, very important to the overall discourse. And so before we move on from that, what do you think about that notion in and of itself? That, okay, even if you are not you, but even if somebody is not specifically changing laws, that there's other ways to influence society for the better. I'm going to say that I disagree, because the main way there's no way to improve society unless there's a law.
Hey, like they say, if it's not in black and white, it don't matter. If it's not, if it's not,
okay. So,
well, that's what they say.
You are no better. So you are no better than me or Abba and Preach in that realm.
Well, in what realm?
In the realm of world solutions.
No, I've changed. I have on paper personally that I can show you that by NDA that I have changed things of influence in my community by law.
Yeah, and so you know that they don't.
Don't what?
Have those NDAs.
Who, Abba and Preach?
Yeah.
Oh, brother. Okay, so no, I don't. And speculation is first of all, let me just say this, clip this. I don't like them. I don't like them because they full of shit, bro. I'm just gonna say it like that. They full of shit. It's about YouTube. It's about content creation. It's about entertainment. They not changing nothing nowhere. They not changing nothing nowhere. That's how I feel.
I don't know that they ever set out to. I think you're putting that responsibility on them, and just because just because they speak a lot of wisdom in an attempt to entertain people doesn't mean. Absolutely. Now, you may have this wisdom already, but remember, as I said before, privilege is invisible to those who experience it. So you being smart and attractive and being able to do this, that, and the other, maybe why would anybody care about talking about getting smarter and thinking about things in a different way and getting with girls? Well,
okay.
What about the thousands of men who have, and I mean, I'm just speculating, but I know that there's some number, but let's say it's 1,000. Let's say easily it's 1,000 men who otherwise wouldn't have ended themselves. And just as silly and merely entertainment as their content is, have directly reached out to them and said, hey, I'm still here because of you. That's not making a change in the world because there's no law?
Oh, okay. Well, in that instance, that's a change. Yes, they have probably saved thousands of men and women from saying like, hey, your content is entertaining and it stopped me from doing X, Y, and Z. Yes. You really didn't lay out a question, but you kind of lay out.
So the question is that not world change? 100 men who otherwise would be dead.
No, that is not world change. 100 men. 100 men.
Well, 1,000. 1,000 men.
1,000. I got 1,000.
1,000 men are just gonna die.
I'm smoking it up. I got 1,000 people in my cell phone. I'm not making a change at 1,000 people in my cell phone. I got 1,000 people on one social media account. That's not making a change for the entire world.
I didn't say have them there. They have 1 million subscribers. I didn't say have them there.
They're not making them.
I didn't say to have them there. Hold on. I specifically said have messaged them. And this is including the people who haven't messaged them, but specifically those who have messaged them to say that I would be dead without you. Even if you, Darshan, thinks their message is stupid, then those men are still alive. And for you to say that is not a world change for 1,000 underprivileged, underappreciated men to still be alive, that rubs me the wrong way.
Okay, I mean, I'm gonna hold on. Pause. I'm gonna rub you the right way.
Ooh, give it to me, baby.
Yeah. Under their subscriber count, I have business dealings with companies that give them subscribers. So what you're talking about when it comes to numbers, don't do it when it comes to numbers. When it comes to YouTube, it's all fraudulent.
What do you mean?
When it comes, listen, these YouTubers, they pay for views, they pay for likes, they pay for subscribers. Okay, so I hear what you're saying on the organic aspect, but do I believe that they're saving 1,000 men and women and they're coming up with good solutions with their interaction videos? Hell no.
Okay,
not at all.
Okay, fine. So, Mike, I'm going to come back to this because this is a good one too. But okay, maybe they saved 0 people's lives. Does entertainment not have value?
Entertainment has value because that's why I tuned into you when you had the I Didn't Read Your Book podcast, 1, and then this channel 2. So yes, you personally have inspired me to create about 15 different products that I'm selling right now. So yes, entertainment has value.
I'm glad to hear. Oh, hold on. We got just a cog in the fuckery in the building. Welcome, girl. Welcome. But yeah, I think I think you're putting an unfair responsibility on the backs of YouTube entertainers.
No, on the backs of people in general.
Okay. So you,
even you, I hold you responsible.
Fair. So then would you agree that if we're talking about all people have the responsibility to make a change in the world, that we have just in the people that we're talking about, you would be at the top because you've actually had, and I'm taking your word for it because I believe, I feel like I can believe you. You've made a concrete legislative change, so you would be up here.
Yep.
Then you would say that I'm whatever degree lower because I have solutions, but I haven't really been able to impact anything. And then lower than me would be Abba and Preach because they are merely entertainment. Would you? So do you agree with that so far?
Yeah, so far I agree with that.
Okay, so I would disagree, but so then the last. So
wait, hold on. Pause. Wait, what do you disagree on?
Because I would put Abba and Preach above myself. But let me just finish the question.
Oh well,
so we got,
they might just show you how much money you made me.
I mean, hey, break me off, son. So we got D-Mac up here. We got IndianJesus. We got Abba and Preach. Would we agree that whatever value, even though it is lesser than what you do, and in your opinion than what I do, would you agree that what they do is more valuable in the way of making world change than everybody else who is not doing what they're doing?
No, not on the essence of world change. Let me just say this, and I don't want to speak above your head, but when it comes to world change, Playboy, you have to get with world leaders, and these guys have influence. I've seen them on the what's the station, PBS, when the Sneeko did his little stupid rant, and they had the Abba and Preach, one of the guys in there. So when you have an agent, when you have a publicist, and they put you on a national platform by taking a clip of your YouTube video, whatever, that's your opportunity to create world change. Now, again, these guys are not obligated to do that. I'm just saying, when I listen to the guys and I listen to the reaction videos, I never hear the end all be all solution or conclusion. When you become an adult, whether you like it or not, people are looking to you for some sort of perspective for a conclusion to, like, hey, how do I move forward? And I'm sick and tired of even you or anyone else not thinking that you cannot strive for perfection, or you can't be perfect in one sound idea. At some point in your life, you have to perfect something, whether you fail at it or not. I failed at doing it wrong. Let me tell you how not to do it this way. So when I listen to these guys, and it's very entertaining, I go, I didn't learn anything. I want my 15 minutes back. I want my 5 minutes back from their interaction video.
Okay, and I understand what you're saying, but that goes back to my other question about if they're out here again. Let's go back to the only thing they've ever done.
Okay,
is entertain millions of people and save exactly 1,000 men's lives. If we are saying that everybody has the responsibility to make world change, are they not ahead of the game? Are there not other people who much more deserve this tongue lashing?
Okay, so no. And you're okay, so you're so good. This is why I mess with you. You're good at your questioning. So yes, they're ahead of the game. However, I'm not. Okay, maybe I am putting a you know what? F it. I'm putting a responsibility on everyone in the world to be obligated to make a change in their lives, to come up with some solutions, because when we're growing up as children, we are led by the example of the people who are sought out to be look bigger than us, right? So we have a tendency to look at a person that has more money than us, a bigger house than us, a better car than us, etc., to be like, oh, this person got it under control. So yes, when you become older, you are somewhat obligated under the influence of the perception of younger people. How can I say this? I heard something, because I have some very expensive headphones from whatever this company, and I heard some noise in the background, and I go, yo, I never thought that those guys had children, and it was from the Abba and Preach, broadcast, and I go, oh, they full of shit. They're all about entertainment. Listen to one of their the last 3 videos they posted. If you have
I watch everyone, and when I'm making my list, I put them right at the top because sometimes their videos get privated, and I'll get to see them. So
I'll send you the link, and what I heard in the background, I go, oh, I say, oh, these guys are hypocrites because they said things about people's families and even their children that I go, oh, these guys got a whole entire family. Unless I missed something, did you know that one of those guys got a kid?
I think you did miss something because I'm pretty certain neither of them has kids.
All right.
Preach,
All right.
who
So
we're watching
I'll send you the link, and you will hear clear as day. Not that there's anything wrong with it. It's just that from their talking points, I go, oh, they're hypocrites. I thought these guys were about solutions. That's why I have the smoke tonight. Because I go, I have a full entire studio in my house, loudspeakers. I know a child screaming for food. I know when I hear that, right? When you become a parent, you know when a child is hungry, right? So I go, oh, these guys are hypocrites. They've been talking about stuff.
Trey's saying Abba has roommates, which is, I believe they record at Abba's house. The creaky floor is Abba's place. So if you heard people call roommates, and Preach is married with no kids, which is all right. So
the creaky floor I understand, but I telling you,
I love
the creaky floor I thought was good, but then when I heard the kid in the background, and listen, I'm gonna send you the link to the video if they didn't take it down. You're gonna what's the name of the guy who has his hair cut?
Abba.
Okay, so Abba disappears off video while Preach is talking. And you can still hear in the background, not that it's a problem, but you can still hear in the background that the kid is in. I go, oh, I didn't think these guys has any kids at all. And I was like, oh, these guys are hypocrites based off of what they were talking about. Now, it's not a problem. It's just that what they've been talking about for the past, 2 years, at least a year since I've been listening to them, I go, oh, these guys are not trying to come up with solutions. They're just entertainment.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
So I'm glad we got to that understanding because if you got the time, I'd love to get your live commentary as we go through some of this. The thing that we're watching now. Real quick though, I just want to come back to this last comment from Mike, saying before when you're saying that you're putting it on everybody to change laws specifically. Mike said if it's got to be laws, that means the government has to do it. Because they make laws. No. People, the government is made up of people. I thought this was a better. Sorry, Mike. I thought this was a better comment. It's not as good. You got some good ones. This ain't one of them. But
just go through, read some of them, and I'm here. I'm here for the smoke. I got 30 minutes. I'm here.
Could have been a neighbor's kid. And this is where I'm coming from. Just a cognitive fuckery is on point here. Said, in my opinion, all change starts with one person with enough ambition to make things happen. Abba and Preach may be entertainment, but they do toss out some perspectives that get people thinking.
They do. They which is why I had gravitated towards them until last night. Right. And then last night, my eyes opened up. And for those of you who are going to be unfamiliar with what I'm talking about, when my eyes opened up to a young lady named Sulkis, I go, oh, that's what they're about. They're not about really educating people. They're not really about a solution. They're just here for the digital content, which is okay. But when people subscribe or kind of stroll onto, you go, oh, shoot, this person's trying to help me out. And I go, you know what? I noticed that I never heard a solution between Abba and Preach, and I actually called out a YouTuber when I hopped on the panel, and I was like, "Bro, I've been listening to you for a whole year, and I never heard a solution." And he was like, "You never heard a solution?" I say, "No." I said, "Can you give me a solution before I get off?" And he was like, "I don't think I can." That's all right. I'm out of here.
All right, so we got there 1, 2, 3, 4 by so that we got their 12 most recent videos on the screen here. Can you
all right.
Do you know what the video was about? Do you know what the
so on my screen, I'm on my phone. So can you show me like the first 4? Because it was like just yesterday I saw the video.
So
at the top.
Yeah, so the one there was one from 5 hours ago that
Okay.
you're not talking about. 22 hours ago was the dude from Migos getting shot.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the
Okay.
one. All right. So maybe towards the middle, right? And again, let me preface this. There is nothing wrong with you having children. There's nothing wrong with you having a family. I had never heard in my headphones kids screaming in the background, and that's the video. And from there, I realized, like, I was like, oh, I didn't know that these guys had a family. I knew somebody was married, but when it comes to children, I didn't know they had a family. I was like, oh, well, that changes things, because a lot of the stuff that they were talking about, it doesn't reside to me. I was like, oh, you guys are talking from a single man's perspective.
So you said that, well, Abba is a single man. But you said it was when Abba was not on screen, right? It was
That's the one. That's the one without the dreads, right?
Yeah, when this guy is off screen.
Yeah, when he was off screen, he left to go take care of the issue of the background noise in the background. Yes.
All right, so let's see what we got here. No Freedom says, who care if they don't have solutions? People don't want to hear solutions. When they do, no one listens. That's not true. Again, I think people come here for more than just entertainment. I hope they do. But sometimes, you're just there for entertainment, and I think I think that's fine.
Okay, so what's the name of that person right there? Because I can barely see it on my screen.
No freedoms.
No freedom. So I disagree. I think all of us are looking for solutions. I tell you what, you said no freedoms?
Correct.
Okay, no freedoms. If you're self-employed, then possibly you may have no solutions for the day of or the next day. But I bet you your employer has a solution for you, which is called a task, for you to wake up every morning, to be there on time, to get the job done. So I disagree with your comment.
I think to be fair to No Freedoms, though, I think he's talking in the context of YouTube specifically.
Okay, so guess what? Every YouTube content creator has some type of solution for you to pick up what they're talking about. So
sure about
I disagree.
What's the solution from Ryan opening toys?
Ryan, the Ryan's World?
I guess. I don't know.
The young kid. Perfect.
Yeah, the young kid who. Yeah.
Oh. I'm gonna tell you. So the solution is for any parent that's watching to buy the toys. That's the solution.
That's a world solution.
What? I guess. Hey. Hold on. Let me put you on my screen. Do me a favor, the IndianJesus. Yes. I really want you to consider this. I want you to look up who Darshawn McAway is, because if it wasn't for Ryan's World, I wouldn't have a product that I thought I can get in there.
That's not the question I asked you, brother. That's not the question I asked you. So you're proving
his solution.
You're proving my point. You're proving my point.
Oh,
he gave no concrete solutions, yet he inspired you to make concrete solutions. Just as Abba and Preach are not presenting solutions, but they are inspiring others to get solutions.
Okay, so if you were expecting for him to say what the concrete solution is, then you're correct. But however, watching the video in context led me to believe that I can get in contact with the same company he's doing business with to provide my product to do business with, to make me who I am today. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, but do you not see how that's a step removed from giving world solutions? Put that.
If you want to play that game, if you want to play salt and pepper,
you brought it up.
Come on. Come on.
Solution. First you said solutions, then I talked about 1,000 men not dying, and you said that wasn't good enough.
Are you talking about like technically giving a solution like, hey, X, Y, and Z?
It's your criteria. That's what I'm trying to figure out. What is it that they're not doing? You say solutions, you say world solutions, you say legislate. What is it that Ryan has done that Abba has not done?
That's a kid, though. Okay. Like the kid is not going to solve the world's problems. I was trying to solve the world's problems by having parents talk to their children and being present. That's what I did, right?
Okay, so what about?
But I can't equate that. Hold on, give me a second. I can't equate that to my financial success. I can't do. You can? How can you equate it to people's financial success from what I did? You don't even know how many people I helped.
It doesn't matter. Learn it, not you. I'm talking about Ryan's world. Learning how the algorithm works, learning what kind of thumbnails, learning what kind, how to open a video, learning all of that kind of stuff.
That's what I was trying to tell you when I first came on. That's bullshit.
Okay, how is that bullshit?
Oh, that's why I told you I'll show you behind the scenes, because I deal with companies that deal with numbers, bro. This YouTube thing, that what you're doing, that you think you're trying to catch on to the algorithm, that's bullshit. I deal with 7 companies from India that can do all this shit to make you monetize and everything else. That's a fact.
Yeah,
that is a complete fact.
Okay, what does it have to do with what we're talking about?
Because you're talking about, you think that it's organic. You think that YouTube, like the numbers are doing the thing. Like that's.
When did I say the numbers? I didn't say.
Rewind. Go back 15 seconds.
You sure? You sure? Why don't you go back 15 seconds?
Let's go back 40. Go back 40. Go back 40.
I'm on the.
Go back 40. I'm here. I'm with you.
Let's do it.
Because you think that, because you just said, you brought up the numbers, not me.
So before we do this, what is it that I did mention?
No.
I'm pulling it up.
Pull it up. Just go back 2 minutes. Go back 2 minutes.
So well. Hold on. We're doing it.
2 minutes. Give me 2 minutes, because I'm counting the time. I'm looking at the time. Go back 2 minutes.
2 minutes. So before we play this, I'm
not giving no context. Just listen to what you said. Go back 2 minutes and listen to what you said.
Whoa. This ain't D-Max world. You in the IndianJesus world now.
That's fine, because Jesus was wrong too.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Oh, okay.
So the question was, or the claim was that I said, Ryan, teach me about the numbers are doing something for the algorithm. And you said I mentioned numbers. What I talked about was thumbnails, how to open a video. And so yeah, perfect. Yeah, that means nothing. Your thumbnails, that all that type of now
stuff.
So we don't need to rewatch this, because you admit now that I didn't say that.
No. I'm saying that doesn't matter.
Let's watch it then. Okay, but do you not see how that
put me on the big screen?
World Solutions.
If you want to play that game, if you want to play something.
The fuck? The world's against you, brother.
No, it's not. It's not.
Come on. You first said solutions, then I talked about 1,010. We'll go back a little bit further. Make sure we're getting exactly what we want to get. That's not the question I asked you, brother. That's not the question I asked you. So you're proving solution. You're proving my point. You're proving.
Let's do it. I'm ready.
All right, we're here. Come on, struggle, stray man. My point. He gave no concrete solutions, yet he inspired you to make concrete solutions. Just as Abba and Preach are not presenting solutions, but they're inspiring others to get solutions.
Okay, so if you're expecting for him to say what the concrete solution is, then you're correct. But however, watching the video in context led me to believe that I can get in contact with the same company he's doing business with to provide my product to do business with to make me who I am today. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, but do you not see how that's a step removed from giving world solutions?
If you want to play that game, if you want to play salt and pepper,
you brought it up.
Come on.
You first said solutions, then I talked about 1,000 men not dying. And you said that wasn't good enough.
Are you talking about like technically giving a solution like, hey, X, Y, and Z?
It's your criteria. That's what I'm trying to figure out. What is it that they're not doing? You say solutions. You say world solutions. You say legislate. What is it that Ryan has done that Abba's
a kid? Okay. That's a kid, though. Okay. Like the kid is not going to solve the world's problems. I was trying to solve the world's problems by having parents talk to their children and being present. That's what I did, right? Okay, so but I can't equate that. Hold on, give me a second. I can't equate that to my financial success. I can't do. You can? How can you equate it to people's financial?
All right. So the claim is that I specifically said numbers. And you guys know me. You guys know me. I am willing to say when I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure, because I don't know anything about numbers from Ryan's channel, that I would not have said numbers. So let's see. Go ahead. You want to say something before we start?
Yeah, I was saying you had to go a little bit back further than that to say that.
List. This is the list. This is the thing that you're talking about.
But it was just a little bit before that. But even still, you're wrong, because Ryan's world.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it. And then if we didn't get the things that I listed that I got from Ryan, that you then turned around and said that I said numbers, then we can go back even further.
Okay. What I did. You don't even know how many people I helped. You got to go back. Yeah, you got to go back.
Learning how the algorithm works. Okay, so number one.
Wait, hold on. Before the algorithm, just a little bit before the algorithm works.
Darshan, this is what I am talking about. I didn't
Go
say
ahead.
that I learned numbers from him. You said rewind the tape. This is rewinding the tape. This is what I'm referring to that I did not say. You can go back
Okay.
even further. We
All right,
weren't even
play it.
talking about. We weren't even talking about that. So let's just
Play it,
finish
play
up.
it.
The
Let's
algorithm.
see.
Learning what kind of thumbnails,
What kind of thumbnails?
how to open a video, learning
How to open a video?
that kind of stuff.
All that kind of stuff. Not once did I say the word numbers.
Yes, you did. Before that, I promise you,
All right.
just a little bit
All right,
before
well,
that.
Then you can clip it, put up on your channel.
All right,
and
I will.
I will.
Okay, so
I will
here's
make
what
a
I'm gonna do, because I came for the smoke, right? This is what
Okay.
you want, right? You want the smoke? I'm gonna give you the smoke. Listen, Ryan's world will
I
not
don't care.
change.
Honestly, dude. Honestly, I don't care about that. I care more about Abba and Preach. So I pulled up the clip that you're saying there's a child in the background.
Go ahead.
So we're gonna put the captions on,
Watch this.
and you tell me when to stop.
Just turn it up.
Maxed out.
Just when it could have been avoided. That's just, ugh.
What are you trying to say about black people?
We could do better.
Okay, he's off screen.
Definitely could do better. There's a lot of shit out there that we keep on doing. We keep on doing. The thing about this is that I think that our job on Earth is to break the cycle and the
Don't mute yourself because I need you to tell me when to stop it.
bad cycles and the bad things that, let's say your parents or your grandparents or the generational trauma that's been bestowed onto us. Your job, you being here, you being here now, you watching all this, your job is to break that. And we ain't breaking shit. Fuck.
I heard a spoon or some dishes.
Sometimes it still feels like we're stuck in the slave days, and it's always these against us and house niggas versus field niggas, and that's how we view life.
Great, now we got
It's
that word on the channel.
it still go back to slavery and shit. And if it's not slavery, it's colonialism.
You should hear it right up in here.
What he set us up on, we don't see. We have to break that we have to break that cycle. We have to. The guns and shit like that, that's irreversible. There's nothing you can do about that. And again, it's pride. Maybe it's because I miss the good old days. Yeah, I miss that.
Okay, so I hear people talking.
Yeah.
I miss that where, when we had a problem, we'd be like, yo.
That didn't sound like a baby. I definitely heard a voice, but I don't really know why that is relevant either way. But
I was telling you.
hold on. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go play it.
Yeah, I miss that. I miss that where.
Come
on. When we had a problem, we'd be like, yo, it's me and you, let's go. And if you agreed onto that, it was you and that person. And after that, you got up, you shook hands, and you let that shit behind. And there was rules to it too. You can't hit a motherfucker if he's on the ground. You don't let him back up. All right, you ready? Let's go.
Okay.
All right. So I don't know about you and your sound system, but that's the kid is not the problem, right? They can do what they want to do in the presence of their own home. It's just that when I heard that, and from listening to all their commentary and what they talked about when it comes to men and women and families, I was like, oh, these guys are hypocrites because they wasn't coming up with solutions. That was my whole point why I wanted to give you the smoke between Abba and Preach, because they were just doing it for entertainment. If you're telling me that previous to me being a part of their YouTube channel, that they already had a family or they have roommates, then I would apologize. But when I caught that video, I heard children in the background, and when I seen him disappear, and I still heard the children in the background or a child in the background, I was like, oh, these guys got a family.
So they don't, but even if they did, I don't understand how having a family.
I told you earlier, because of okay, I don't know how many reaction videos you've done to their content, but the things that they talk about, it goes along the lines of them being single, independent men. Now, I know one of them are married, but they still come off as, oh, I'm single. I get to do whatever I want to do, and I can bash women, and I can say whatever I want to say. I can uplift men. I can bash men. And it's like, oh, I thought you guys were trying to come up with a solution.
You're not, again, this is precisely why I wanted to do this show.
Okay.
And because I just watched a 3-hour panel
Okay.
with where Sneeko somehow got in. It was from Destiny's Discord server. There was a bunch of people there. There was like 9 or 10 people there, and they're talking about the way that they were talking about some girl and her doing OnlyFans or whatever. And Sneeko pops in, and he comes in, and he's acting wild. And Abba was the one like, "Yo, slow your roll." So first of all, he was the one. Nobody else in all a room of bunch of lefties and women were not saying anything to him. Second of all, they have put out many videos saying that both Andrew Tate and Sneeko are too fucking wild.
Mm-hmm.
So I just don't understand what it is that they say that either you don't like or that conflicts with having a family. I'm just so lost at that.
Okay. All right. So what I don't like,
You Mac, not D-Rod.
it's okay. What I don't like is that I have personally never heard them come up with a solution from their interaction videos. That's what I don't.
Sorry,
like.
say that one more time.
What I don't like is that I've never heard them come up with a solution to their reaction videos. I've always heard them come up with their speculation from the reaction videos. That's all I got to say on that part.
Okay, I think that's fair. I mean, I think, yeah, if you're in entertainment, then just like everybody else in entertainment, you are not creating legislation. And I think that's fine because as we've talked about before, having these conversations, people understanding these messages from a different context than they had, me specifically, is valuable and has social value, even if it is not directly relevant to a change in laws.
Okay, so let me just say this in conclusion, and we can continue because I still have some time. So I noticed that you referenced my past, and this is not to say like, oh, how handsome I am and how much money I made, but what happened to me was I've ran into fraternity brothers, whether they were sisters or brothers from the white community or the African American community, whatever. And I noticed that when they told me that I wanted change, that I have to make change come from the legislation.
Right.
So that's the only way that I realized that change can happen. And I had plenty of those Greek brothers and sisters to say, hey, man, you should be in politics because you got the voice, you got the influence, you got people in your pocket. But I always felt like I would be manipulating the system because the women that I know who are in government now, that many of you have seen, that I have been with. And I didn't want to let that be my end-all entry door to the situation. Because I have my hands, I hate to say this, but we'll do it. I got my hands tied behind my back when it comes to certain people. And I know I got the influence only because I have the money. And the money only comes from the product development.
Okay. I mean, I understand what you're saying to me, but I'm not really sure how that fits into what we're talking about.
I'm talking about influence. I put me on the big screen real quick. You can clip this.
Please.
I have the influence to change the world.
That it?
Yeah, that's it.
I mean, congratulations. I think we all have the potential.
Well, you got to be cocky sometime. You got to be. Listen,
hell
life is short. I can't be humble all my life. God damn it! I got to be cocky sometimes. So everybody who's watching, you're not where I am. You're not on my level. God damn it! You should be privileged to hear from me.
And we are. And that's why I want to keep you around with your remaining time to go through a little bit more of this conversation and get your live reaction.
Let's do it.
Real quick, just from Trey says, I think that's a BS answer because you called them hypocrites for something you can completely prove because you don't know if that's his child or not, but also to think that only laws change things.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Fair enough. All right, so let's back this up a little bit just so we see where we are. We're talking about the future's female.
I think the future is accountability. So we made a shirt like that. The future is female and it's written accountability, because I think that's more important. Just know how it's supposed to be out there. Be conscious.
Right.
It's like you're just walking in your privilege of not. No, I want that. Oh yeah, but pipe down. So I understand. I understand that. Whether you're a fan of promiscuity or not, understand that it might get difficult. So if you go to war, you want to be a soldier, there's going to be consequences. If I do certain jobs, there's going to be consequences. If I want to be a CEO of a company or whatever, and I have to put a lot of hours, well, my family are probably going to suffer. Doing the job that I do, I'm here and there, and I have to make time for certain things. I have choices to make according to the reality of the thing. You have to be accountable. No matter
that slogan, though, that future is female. Like, it just, I mean, I am a female.
You don't like that?
Well, I don't.
She said that twice so far, and we're only 18 minutes into the podcast.
Why? I like it because why
does it rub you?
Well, two reasons. First of all, future should be, for me, the future is good people, like good quality citizens, like men, women. I don't care. Like, I don't like that immediately makes it like, oh, women are going to do all the good things and women are going to do. And what happens to all the guys? I have a little boy, I have a 3-year-old son.
Well, obviously, the future is not male or female, because if you know anything about the birds and the bees, you need both. And if you know anything about raising a child, you do, in fact, need both, despite the fact that many women are choosing to do it on their own. And men deciding to hightail it out there as well. But of course, the future is female. This is just more placation from the establishment. They know that women buy things and vote more than men do. So they, or if they don't vote more, then they definitely have the influence on the men who do vote. And that's who they pander to. Just a straight white male, you have the least voting power that you've ever had. And some people may say that's a good thing. But I know a lot of white guys who are good people who have never done anything wrong and have never done anything that should relinquish not relinquish power that they're holding from other people, but be pushed down so that other people can be put forward. Deshaun, anything?
No, that statement in itself is ridiculous. I kind of want to lean towards like it's 50%. Going forward, like the future, she's grabbing for straws.
Yeah, I think No Freedoms is on point. Says the future is actually robots. Because let's be honest, when X-robots become a thing, a lot of women will be single. We're already well, I'm not there. A lot of people are there. I was thinking about it. I was thinking about getting one of those Walk 5000s. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Well, hey, listen, real quick. I had created 2 condom companies a couple years ago. And what I had realized was in the future, there are going to be a lot of people having no sex. There's going to be a lot of sexless relationships, a lot of sexless marriages, because so many people are going to contract a sexual transmitted disease or even infection. So the future is not looking too bright.
Give a shit about that.
Ugh,
when you haven't had sex in 5 years, you're like, well.
Yeah,
hope for the best.
Hope for the best.
That's that's really the level of scarcity that a lot of these dudes are working with, and I'm not necessarily one of them, but I'm certainly not one of them. Let's just put it that way.
I'm raising him to be a kind, respectful,
masculine, hopefully
wonderful one-day man. Mm-hmm. And are we now in a culture that's going to disregard him as, oh, you can't really accomplish good things?
Yep.
Because women are here now?
Yep.
Why? You have to earn that spot. So let each individual, man or woman, earn that spot.
Because slay queen.
Based on their character, not based on their gender.
Because I mean, both.
If you want me to just pause, just say pause.
Sit down, and when I haven't talked to people like that.
Oh, I wanted to read this out. Divine Rod had said where are we? In relation to one of the shorts I put out today, saying that single dads, grandparents, gay couples, and wolf packs all raise better children than single moms. Come on. So, well, that's when No Freedom says, actually, I would love to marry.
I understand.
No Freedom says, amen. I can enjoy all the things of being married. Expect or accept. I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt and assume you said being married, except the bedroom. The money I could save and make would be crazy. Easy Bake Womb, brought to you by Mattel.
Actually, oh, never mind. I gotta deal with Mattel.
Good.
No.
No, you good?
No, I was saying I gotta deal with Mattel.
All right, just a little flex, a little
Yeah,
flex.
little flex,
I'm
little
with it.
flex.
I'm with it.
And what the message is behind the future is female.
What is it to you?
Ooh.
They want to prop up female. They want to give this self confidence. They want to they want to prop up the ego of women that was not just as bad for all these years. I understand that. Can I swear?
Sure,
Okay.
go for it.
So before they get into that, just a cog in the fuckery, a female. We love having a female perspective over here. Says, I don't see why people think empowerment equates to tearing down others. 100% agreed.
Well, can let me speak
Yeah,
on
please.
that. That comes from a lack of mentorship and also parenting, right? When you have to tear down somebody else, someone taught you that you have to fight for what you want and you got to punch down. You don't have to punch down because there's no lack in anything in the world. So that's where that comes from. So when it comes to me, when I do my live streams and I'm doing whatever, I teach people you don't have to punch down, even in your relationships with your family members, because the life will recycle that out. Just be who you are and be counterintuitive to your perception. Like, just treat people accordingly. If they treat you wrong, then you don't have to treat them wrong, but say, hey, listen, don't treat me that way.
Yeah. And I think that is a notion like that. It's just communication. Number one is being self-aware, because you can't communicate how you feel if you don't know how you feel. So number one is being self-aware. And number two is being able to articulate that in a way that isn't blaming other people. And I think that is the part that is missing from not every woman, of course, but just the stereotypical feminist, the feminazi. That type of mentality comes from an inability to be self-aware and a desire to express something without a true understanding of what it is. There's just a couple talking points that the future's female, yes, queen, slay, bitch, and then it stops there. And so that's why channels like It's Complicated and what's the other dude who like Gen Z doesn't know anything about America. Why you can just get these people who are so confident in silliness because they don't think any deeper at all. Got you, No Freedoms. Just a cog says, and that's why we have so many problems in the world. Everyone wants to throw punches. Exactly. Let's can't we all just get along?
Go for it. Nothing's off the table on this show.
It's just
we Carson
and
now.
I know they want to prop up and they want to do this. They want to make people feel better. The thing is, the marketing is fucked up. It's not good marketing. Because that's not what the message of other people do. It's not good marketing. It's not good. Because imagine if it was written live and it was pre-taped. The marketing is messed up. It's not good marketing. Just like if you're talking about toxic masculinity. I understand what they're trying to say when they say that.
I just real quick, but on that same panel I was just talking about where Abba was there. It was a Destiny panel, and it was a bunch of lefties, and they said something about toxic, and Sneeko and Abba immediately checked out, and Destiny correctly, and I will admit, I am one of these people, like, you can't use the word toxic around these people. Like, it just, it makes their brain explode the same way liberals' brains explode when they hear the word Trump. And it's true. I get triggered.
Yeah.
people throw around the word toxic so flippantly, and specifically the toxic masculinity part. As I've said many times before, toxic masculinity does not exist. The behaviors that are labeled to be toxic masculinity come from a lack of masculinity. Divine Rod said, one of the definitions of love, in my humble opinion, is to subordinate one's needs for another, but it must be a two-way street. Darshan, what do you have to say about that? The definition of love, subordinate needs to is to subordinate one's need for another, but it must be a two-way street.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree, because that's one of the main things I talk about in my books, or even if you will, my teachings.
What are they called? What are those books called?
The men's self-help book is called Say Hello to Me, where I teach men how to present themselves for women to say hello to them amidst the Me Too movement. And Girlfriend versus Wife Duties is a collection of the two, where women realize, and even men realize, that, hey, listen, I think I want to partner up with this person, but let me find out on the prenuptial agreement and postnuptial agreement if this is what we abide by too.
Gang. Guys, can we get the likes up? Well, I mean, we got a guest here, an esteemed guest. Oh, and he just cammed up. Oh, let's get a like for Darshan's beautiful face. Beautiful face. If you are interested in hearing a little bit more about that Girlfriend versus Wife Duties book, I actually did a podcast with Darshan. That is how we met, talking about his book from the I Didn't Read Your Book podcast, still up on this channel. Go check it out. Buy his shit. When the audiobook of Say Hello to Me comes out, I'm hoping Darshan's gonna let me do a collab and we'll go through it. We don't have to talk backstage, but I'm hoping. So if that's something that you're interested in, let me know. Let him know.
Bruh, listen. Hold on. Let me say this. Let me go on the record. No, hold on. Let me go on the record. You're gonna get paid, and it's going down. All right, because I'm that dude. You know what? You know what amazes me about life? Let me say this. You know what amazes me about life is that you guys feel like I'm not that dude. I've been that dude for a long time, right? I've been changing things that have been benefiting your lives. Let me tell you what I benefited. The way you wipe your ass and you drink water, I benefited from that, right? I'm making changes, right? I made it softer, right? I made it I made it more filtered, right? That's who I am, right? Because I figured out some things, but the Indian Jesus, we're gonna make some things happen, man. It's going down. Trust me.
Y'all heard it. It's on record. On record. All right. So let's see what the fuck they're saying about toxic masculinity. If you got a heart out, bro, just let me know. And of course we will give you the floor. But back into it.
And the marketing is fucked up. It's not gonna market. It's not what it is. How come whenever we talk about racism?
Hey, we got Call Me Touch in the building. Welcome. Said Kanye wishes he was this guy. Interesting. That would I see where he's coming from. I know Freedoms doesn't seem to understand, but I get it. It's you either get it or you don't. What do you think?
Where's it coming from? Well, hold on. Fill me in.
I don't want to put words in his mouth, but it says Kanye wishes he was this guy, meaning Preach. I think that Preach is just a lot more. My interpretation of this comment is that Preach is just way more deliberate and conscious about the way he speaks. I think Kanye has some amazing, fantastical ideas, along with some other not so great ideas, but absolutely has some genius ideas. And you gotta wipe the turds off. But if you're willing to do that, they are there. And I think the point of the comment is that they're, at least in my opinion, apparently you disagree, but in my opinion, there's not, especially with Preach as opposed to Abba, there is no bullshit to wipe off. But apparently we disagree. So I'm waiting for him to say something that you could point out in real time, and then we can have a specific comment that we're talking about. Well, welcome, CMT. Glad you're here.
And we say, let's say we have a white person that's being racist towards a black person, we call that racism. When a black person is racist towards another black person, we call that classism. We call that self-hate. Whenever we have a lighter shade of black, like we have all these names for all these different types of racism depending on who does it. But if we talk about feminism, when a guy is being rude to a woman, it's toxic masculinity. When a girl's being rude to a man, toxic masculinity. When everything is let's we know where it's from, but let's just know what this is. Yeah, but it's because it's oppression. Okay.
But that's by design. You know, like you're saying it's bad marketing, right? And I think to someone, a thinking person who's not agenda driven like yourself, it just looks like that's just bad. Like, why are you doing it like that? But I actually think it's perfect marketing for what they're trying to do. Because if you look at television and you look at film, movies, men are consistently being painted as weak, as dumb, as, you know, the lesser sex. I'm watching The Handmaid's Tale right now, and they've got scenes in there that I'm like, the guy looks like he needs, like he's playing the female role essentially. And the woman they have propped up as the person who can, you know, don't worry, I've got it all under control in many of these scenes. And that's something that happens all the time in film.
All the time. All the time. It is. Yep. I started noticing it a while back. I'm a TV guy. You know, I think it's from when I was a kid. I was never. I got decent grades, but I was never allowed to. I was allowed to watch like half-hour TV a night during the week, and then I had to spend 2 hours reviewing my 4th grade math as if I didn't already get it. So I got, you know, TV was a little bit taboo. So once I went to college, I was like, hey, no matter what I'm doing, the TV is on, and that stays true today. Point being that I've been on top of, you know, trends in movies and TV outside the big franchises. I missed MCU and all that stuff for a long time. But point being, I started noticing it. It started with like the commercials. You would see the typical like Downy commercial, and it's just like the husband trying to fold the one, honey, I can't do it. Oh, you, that kind of thing. Then over the years, it's morphed. And now, unless it's specifically a war story, you cannot find anything on Netflix, specifically Netflix, that has come out in the last 2 years that doesn't either star a woman and be is a woman's story, which I don't inherently have a problem with. But when they're all the fucking same. Or it's about a man, and that man is an anti-hero at best, if not just a bad guy. And once you notice it, you can't unnotice it. Deshaun, you've seen this, right?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I've been in the industry for a few years, and I've noticed that some of the parts I've played in was a wounded soldier, right? So somebody getting their head blown off type of deal. But yeah, they want to create the damsel in distress, or the guy is the domestic abuser, if you will. It's always pointed out as if the guy is always the bad person. Sometimes they make him the hero, but for the most part, he's fighting against the woman, and the woman becomes the hero.
Yep. And the problem with that is not that there are not female stories to be told, but that they try to tell like archetypal stories, like the hero's journey, where somebody is a one person and they go through hardship and they come out the other side a better person. You know, ever since I'm not a Star Wars guy, that's another franchise I missed out on, but they talk about characters being a Mary Sue, where my best interpretation of that is Captain Marvel, where Brie Larson plays this chick who is just a chick, and then she gets blasted with some energy, and she's still just a chick, and then she goes down to Earth, and she's super powered because of the explosion, but she's still just a chick. At the end of the movie, she has made no changes. And that's supposed to be celebrated. And welcome, Liberty Twitcher. Glad to see you here with a great comment saying, and that's why young males nowadays are more feminine than men were in the old days. Because you know, I mean, the most obvious example is probably the Gillette ad, but it's being overt about men. You are lesser than. Now, Freedom says, no wonder why many men are okay with beating the hell, No Freedom says, out of women. People forget that as more women become strong single mothers, more men become, as No Freedom says, woman beaters. Interesting. Yeah. I mean, it's a feedback loop. You prop up the women who don't necessarily deserve to be propped up. You push down the men who do deserve to be propped up, and it messes with the balance of things. And now you have to see how you operate in this world, and you can either do it the hard way. I guess we lost Arjan. I guess you do it the hard way by being a nice person, but being a strong person, being somebody who can actually provide something in the world, or you just take that power through brute force. That's what feminism has done to us. Larry Twitcher says dramatic drops in testosterone levels today of today's men versus years ago. Yeah. And as young men are now less masculine, the armed forces have a crisis of lack of new recruits. Oh, that's fine. They've got rainbow bullets on their helmet. That's not a problem. Byron said masculinity is toxic to them until they need someone to run into a burning building or someone to keep aggressors from them. Exactly. Jessica Cog says men become abusers because they don't deal with their shit. Well, that's true. But how do men deal with their shit? Most men just kind of push it down. And we got so this is just for Darshan. And yeah, they're not dealing with their shit. But the point is, we don't have a society where it's safe to deal with your shit. It's not safe. If you show any sign of vulnerability, men and women alike will take advantage of that. And so it's a whole thing. Shout out to Indie Film Fathers. Lives matter. Hell yes. The Freedoms agrees 100% with just a Cogs, and they need to deal with having single mothers and toxic women. Yeah. We lost our Sean for a minute, but he's back. Took a minute, but we found him. Welcome back.
All right, cool.
And yeah, just talking about men being abusers because they don't deal with their shit, but not having a place where men can deal with their shit. Yeah, just coping mechanisms instead of healthy coping mechanisms. That's how I got into drugs. That was exactly that. It was me self-medicating the bullshit of my life.
So let me ask you this. And if did you find a way to cope?
What do you mean?
Did you find a way to cope? Did you find a way to get through it?
So at first, I would cope through, fucking. This was in the emo era. So give me a break. But I used to start. Actually, it was before that. So fuck all that. I used to cope by cutting, like with scissors. In my 11-year-old mind, it was easier to understand the physical pain of scissors on my skin than the pain of why doesn't mommy love me? Yes, I've got mommy issues. Then, as I got older, I would cope through the music that I would listen to, and that was probably until I got into drugs, which wasn't that far that much later. But for a few years, that was probably a really healthy time in terms of coping with shit that I needed to deal with. But then I found drugs, and drugs pack a little bit more of a punch than a good song sometimes. And when you mix them, well, that really does it. So now I have found much more healthy ways of coping, but that has come only because trying to genuinely be a good person, genuinely trying to fix my flaws, genuinely trying to do all that stuff, didn't work. I would try to talk to people. I would try to come to a friend and say, hey, I'm having this issue, and I think this, and that. And they would say, well, why don't you just do A? I'm like, well, I tried A, and that doesn't work. Like, okay, why don't you try B? Yeah, I know you're right. I tried B, and that didn't work. And we get down to C, D, E, and then, well, what do you want from me? And now I have to make them feel better because they feel like I'm just being a dick to them. And so I learned to keep it all inside until eventually I was like, you know what? I think I'm actually right. I think everybody else who's giving me shit for having feelings is wrong. And so now my coping mechanism is coming to talk to you guys.
All right. So how long ago was that? Because I was going to ask you like what really got you over it, because I need to apply that same solution to my family who's going through issues.
Getting over the drug specifically?
Yeah, the addiction. Yeah.
Honestly, it's not going to be a good answer. Money. I didn't have enough money. I was running out of money, and I got to a crossroads, and I was like, okay, well, either I'm going to be that guy, or I got to stop.
Okay.
And because when I was in the throes of my addiction, I was very aware of what I was doing and what I was dealing with. There's a line from the first Saw movie that has stuck with me. And, I don't remember that movie's from early 2000s, but it's always stuck with me. And spoiler alert if you haven't seen Saw. But there's a doctor and another dude in a room. Their legs are handcuffed. They're stuck. And they have to the one guy has to saw off his leg to escape. Through the movie, while they're trying to figure this out, then the doctor is talking about the person who put them in that situation and kind of saying, oh, he's smart. He'd figure this, that. And the other guy's like, oh, it sounds like you're complimenting this person. And so he said, the doctor said, if you want to defeat a virus, you have to respect what it does. And for whatever reason, maybe some of y'all will say by the grace of God, but for whatever reason, the first time I did hard drugs, that line popped into my head. And so I always had a mechanism of making sure I wasn't months on end doing a drug. I would only do drugs for like 3 days in a row, let my body feel like shit for 2 or 3 days, and then get back into it, which was not a fun way of living. But out of all of my friends who were doing drugs, I never ended up graduating to heroin. And I think that is the main reason, is that I left myself a door out. For those who haven't done so and are really in the throes and really in the thick of it, then I would just, because it's such a simple life. It's horrible, but it's so simple. And that simplicity, especially as you get older, or at least as I get older, I miss the simplicity. I don't miss all the other bullshit, but there's so many other things that I care about. And so, to answer your question, I would say if you can find things that if somebody is suffering from addiction, if you can find things that they care about outside of that world, get them more, instead of trying to get them to just stop doing what they were doing, take the energy that they are using to feed their addiction and do your best to redirect it into something positive. Now, obviously, it has to be something that they want to do. Maybe they want to do music. Maybe they want to write. Maybe they want to be a YouTuber. It could be anything. But that would be my best advice.
Hey, listen, I love it, and I'm going to say this from a personal experience. I have a family member that's going through something that what you've been through, and for you to say what you said, it's concrete, and I thank you, because I've been doing what you said. And on top of that, I'm going to show him this video to let him know that he's been on the right track. So
good. Well, whoever you are, I'm glad you are working on it. Listen to our Sean. He is somebody that will point you in the right direction. And Just a Cog here has another a good point, that I think that person, without knowing anything else about them, I can almost guarantee that this would resonate with them. That one person just giving the time to be present can save a life. People don't just become drug addicts for no reason. I mean, yeah, some people get, prescription, they don't know what they're getting into, and then whole thing. But the people who are self-medicating are medicating something. And so maybe you can't solve that, but maybe you can make their existence that much less shitty. And maybe that differential is enough for them to say, okay, I don't want to, as simple as easy as this is, I just wake up, figure out how I'm going to get my drugs, repeat. That's my whole life. I don't worry about bills. I don't worry about servicing my car. I don't have to worry about any of that other stuff. But I want to. Now that you've shown me there's more, you get lost in it. You get lost in that cycle. And so Just a Cog has a perfect comment here. One person just giving the time to be present and just being treated like a person. Addiction is so isolating. It's so isolating. Even me, who had a group of friends, I'm sure that's not uncommon, but we would do stuff together, and we would, we would make it fun. Like, it wasn't as grimy and dirty as you would think of the worst heroin addict. At least, well, I was part of it. They all graduated to that. But at that time, we were college kids. We were doing pills, and we were. It started off a lot more recreational, but of course, it gets deeper. And so then you become known as that guy. And so you isolate. And so you, Darshan, can go to this person. Maybe they're high as shit at the time. Maybe they don't even remember that you were there. But if you're just there and you just hang out with them and they're just babbling because they're fucked up, I'm like, yeah, dude. And I'm like, yo, let's just watch a movie. That type of stuff can show them, oh, you know what? People do care about me. People do actively want me to stop damaging my life. And I mean, I certainly can't promise that anything, but I can tell you from personal experience that would have definitely changed the trajectory of how long I was on drugs, and I would have definitely much more quickly been like, I just don't want to be doing this.
Right.
Even though the money was really the major thing. Like, now that I've been years away from that stuff, like, if you put a pill in front of me, I have no problems. I'm going to do that shit. It's fun. There's no two ways about it. It is fun. It feels good. But there's more. So as long as you understand that, and you understand that they know what they're doing, they understand that you know what they're doing. They understand you don't like what they're doing. And if they wanted to do things differently, then they would. But there's a reason they don't want things to change. Maybe it's a silly reason. Maybe they think something that's not even true. But in their minds, that is true to them.
Right.
So
I got you. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. No, you know what? I agree. And with that, I know what to do tomorrow. Listen to anyone who's listening. This is why I subscribe to the IndianJesus, because I see something positive in you. You're doing good things. You've always helped me out. You made me make a substantial amount of money, right? And we'll talk about that later. But I appreciate you, brother. And you guys check out the IndianJesus. If you want to hear from me, go to wildpodcast.me. Trust me, I got substance, I got conclusions, I got solutions. And I just want to say that if you're going through a hard time, let it go. Let it go, because you're going to make it through, and everything's going to always be all right. It always worked out for you. It never has not worked out for you, whether you think so or not. The IndianJesus, I appreciate you, brother. You're always going to be a dear friend to mine. And good night, everyone.
Thank you so much for coming up, brother. I appreciate your kind words, and I appreciate the smoke. I like it. I need to be held accountable, and you have definitely done so on multiple occasions, and I hope you will continue to do so.
Oh, yeah. You know I got the smoke for you.
All right. Thank you so much, brother. You have a good one. All right. So let's get back. So I mean, well said. Well said. No freedoms is saying everything is not going to be all right. You have to make it so. That is true. That is true. But at the same time, this is not the message that a drug addict needs to hear. This means like, okay, yeah, I'm not stupid. I understand how the world works. I just don't want to have to make it so. I can just sit here, live from high to high, and then I'll be dead. And then I don't have to do shit. Sounds good to me. And it did sound good to me for years. And it sounds good to millions and millions and millions of people every day. So you are absolutely right. But the fact is, that is the disconnect. That is the disease of addiction. Actually, some can benefit from this message. It depends on the person. Absolutely. That's why I'm bringing it up and talking about it, because some people, everybody's at a different place. And that's why I said the first thing I said is that you are absolutely right. You are absolutely right. Everything may not be all right. Maybe you get lucky and some solution just falls into your lap. Probably not, though. So you've got to do it. So for instance, just like the saying, "Don't do drugs," caused more people to do drugs. Yeah, that's why they ended the DARE program. Jessica says, when you're deep in the depression, rolling over is the default and hard as hell to pull yourself out of. Yeah, if you remember, if you were here for the TikTok review stream that I did, and we had the girl talking about, for her it was ADHD paralysis, but I resonated with it in terms of anxiety. She was, it was one of those TikToks where she's in different clothes, different hair, playing two different characters. And so the one person's like standing at the stove, and it's electric burner. It's like, yo, put your hand on that on the hot stove. And it goes, I'm like, well, I don't want it. It's like, yeah, but you could, right? Like, you have the mechanical skill to be able to do it. It's like, yeah, of course I do. It's like, okay, so just try it, just see what happens. She's like, oh, well, I mean, like, even though I know I physically can do it, there's something in my brain stopping me from doing it. And she's like, yeah. So that's exactly what happens when you're talking about making a phone call, making an appointment, getting out of bed, going to the mailbox, any of these things. You get that same type of paralysis with certain mental health issues. Let's put it that way. Absolutely, depression is probably the number one thing behind drug addiction. And it's just people just don't understand it. Maybe I need to talk a little bit more about that. Maybe I need a little talk a little bit more about that. Thank you, Jessica. I think we're gonna do some more stuff on that. But let's get back to Jedediah and Preach. Back up a little bit.
But I actually think it's perfect marketing for what they're trying to do. Because if you look at television and you look at film, movies, men are consistently being painted as weak, as dumb, as, the lesser sex. I'm watching The Handmaid's Tale right now, and they've got scenes in there that I'm like, the guy looks like he needs, like he's playing the female role, essentially. And the woman they have propped up as the person who can, don't worry, I got it all under control.
That show should be right the fuck up my alley. The Handmaid's Tale, religious people take over, and that should be a dystopian thing that is right up my alley. But even that is another reason why wokeness, leftism, all that stuff has become a bigger issue to me in the past years than religion. Even a dystopic religious tale is something I can't get on board with, because it's unrealistic, because of how stupid it is, because it's just woman forward. It's sacrificing quality for something? I don't know.
In many of these scenes. And that's something that happens all the time in film and TV. So I think they say toxic masculinity because it's agenda driven. And
Yeah.
you're saying, well, women were oppressed, prior. So you're trying to see the lens of like making up for bad decisions in the past. But I feel like history plays out that way sometimes. And it's like, yeah, we weren't always perfect. We were making big mistakes. You look at slavery. I mean, there were things that happened in this country in particular and others that were just bad, right? But you can't.
Slavery was bad? Oh, we got a hot take from Jedediah.
In an effort to like correct some of that, you can't overcorrect it and now, vilify men at large because women didn't have the right to vote. Now modern men get vilified. That's crazy to me.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. The thing is, I understand what you're saying. That is good marketing according to what they
want,
and I think you're not wrong. But the reason why I think it's bad marketing still is because more and more people are dropping out of it, so it's not working that well.
People's eyes are open now.
Yeah, the whole movement of anti-feminism among women is growing by a lot, and the whole notion that I need an ideology to help me because I'm so oppressed. Like, I think I'm more educated and make more money than most men, so I'm good without feminism. Freedom says, I don't know. I think I would be down with that as long as I was probably. What did I miss? What the fuck did I? Oh, I'm okay. As long as I forgot what we were talking about. Oh my god. No, Freedom. I said, "Damn, girl, here I thought we should get married." Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. No Freedom is a dude, right? And Divine Rod is you're both dudes, right? Do we have another female in the building? Oh my god! Thought it was just a cog because we know Cherie and we know Mackenzie are gone. They couldn't handle it.
I believe where there was like the first movement of feminism was in the UK. It's not they dropping out of that movement. They're like, yo, that's not really our thing now. And they were the first one to do it, but they're like the first one to drop out. So I guess I see what you're saying because it's in movies, it's in the media, it's everywhere.
But you
can't look at a TV ad about just things that you use around the house, like things to wash or just change a roll of paper. Yeah. And the guy is oftentimes like dumbfounded in front of the roll of paper, don't know what to do. It's like it's a roll of toilet paper, my guy.
But they gotta make it look like
they gotta make it look, and I get that. In that sense, I get you 100%, and it's in the movies and stuff like that. Yeah, absolutely. But people are more and more dropping out. People are like, I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's a great point because I think there's a hardcore group of people that's small, that's very loud, that likes it. But there's a lot of other people saying, I don't know about that. I have a husband, I have a dad, I have a brother. They're not toxic. So enough. And that brings me into another topic that's really interesting, which is the whole gender debate now that's out there.
Oh,
and I'm a big believer in like, hey, you're a grown adult. Again, do what you want, live the life you want. But we're now in a place where you can't even say basic facts. Like to that small minority that's very loud again, you can't even say a man is a man and a woman.
Oh, I missed the whole. Sorry, guys. I'm a little bit behind. I'm doing a lot of things here. Okay, give me a break.
As a woman, and they're different. Now it's like, well, anyone can be a woman. Anyone can be a man. These words don't even have meaning anymore. So somebody like yourself in the
semantic obfuscation. This is a tactic. Jedediah here is right. Preacher's saying, "Oh, they just have they just have bad marketing. They just have bad marketing. They don't realize that they're saying these things and it means something else." Oh no, honey, sweetie, baby. This is a purposeful tactic to confuse you and get you to trip you up. I don't want to be canceled. So, yeah, future's female. She's fine. This is what semantic obfuscation does. It creates alternate realities where a woman in this world is something and a woman in this world is something else. So when somebody from this world and somebody from this world tried to have a conversation, they're unable to because they are having a conversation using the same words, but they are talking about two different things. So as she just said, Words have meanings. Words have meanings.
Space where you're talking about men and women and dating, all this stuff, these people want to tear out the foundation of that, which is just that men and women are different. So what do you say to people that just refuse to acknowledge that a man is a man, a woman is a woman, biologically, they're different?
Well, I use the term male and female. So I go with male, female.
That's a red flag. Any guy who refers to women as females is toxic.
After that, you want to have the construct of men and women, fine. Do you?
You're talking about biologically.
Biologically. I'm going to talk male, female.
Damn, yo, we over 2 hours in. I only got 10 likes. Yo, y'all can help me out. I know that it's not that hard, and it's free, and it means a lot. So if you could just hit the like button, guys. And now it's colored. It gives you a whole explosion, just like the video.
Stuff like that. After that, people are going to be like,
shout out and salute to Darshan. Thank you again for coming up. As you can tell by the poll, myself and everybody else really appreciates my ideas being challenged on this platform. So you were always welcome here. And smoke is always wanted on this side as well, sir. I'll be waiting on that. Thank you, CMT. I'll be waiting on that check.
Then why does it matter then?
But you realize there's like 50 pronouns now. Like it's like
I call you by your name.
Cool.
I call a person by name. I'm not gonna.
So that's the other thing about pronouns. I bring this up every time that it comes up because I think it's important to remember. Pronouns are for talking about somebody. Pronouns are for talking about somebody. Not to somebody. You don't speak pronouns to a person. So this whole fucking thing is about controlling how you and I speak about somebody when they're not even there. You're not even there. You can't even hear it. You can't even hear it. You are not aware of it. But I should get arrested if I talk about. Okay.
Go out of my way to misgender the person. I'm going to be able to find like a middle ground when I respect the person and I respect myself as well. Again, it's not because I disagree with you that I have to disrespect you. It's not because I disagree with you that I have to call you names and stuff like that. Okay?
Heard that, Henry?
Now that being said, facts. I will always go to the facts that we know. Okay? Find me something else that's going to be able to change my facts, then I'll be like, okay, fine. You got that. But up to now, and it's not everybody in, let's not put everybody in the same.
Hey, thank you for the likes, guys. I really do appreciate it. Like, seriously, it means a lot to me, and it does. It's the biggest thing that helps in the algorithm. So thank you so much.
In the same pot.
And the quicker you like the video, the less I have to stop the show to ask you to like the video. But thank you.
People that are
very
trans and they understand the way I understand it. But I'm not gonna go out of my way to misgender people or whatever with disrespect the person. But I don't have to agree.
Screen capped. You will never live this down, Lord Kitten.
Right.
I don't have to agree to
it's all Lord Kitten Wolf Shark Tooth. You will never live that down.
If that
shut up, Nightbot.
That makes me this or that or whatever. That's debatable. Because I value the person as they are. Nobody should have atrocities made to them or being judged or being bullied or anything like that. But the facts remain the facts.
Yeah.
According to the facts that we have now.
That's where I'm at too, in a sense. That, I mean, I don't care what adults do with it. Like, genuinely, you want to take hormones. I don't care if you want to call yourself a polar bear. I mean, I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. It's your life. But what I am worried about and what does bother me is
when you want me to indulge in your delusion. I will not indulge in your delusion, and you have no right to demand that I do. Or maybe I will. I refer to Blair White as a woman. I worked with a guy named Shane who was born as a woman and transitioned. Never once did I misgender him or call him by a different name or anything like that. because I'm so woke and sensitive and no, because I don't fucking care. It's not important to me because he was not trying to influence my life in any way at all. CMT said, how did the trans man, says CMT, murder his victim? Indian Jesus, he, him. He slash him. Let's go. All right. I'm fuck this Nightbot. I guess it's not working. Darshan, I need you to help me with this shit. I don't know why it doesn't work. But that's all it does. It annoys people. When I do the things to put the sub and whatever, it doesn't work. So we need help. But CMT, great joke. I love that. I love it.
Now, there are things that are unique to, say, womanhood. Like women can have babies and women get periods and women go through puberty a certain way as a female. And I don't want those experiences taken away from women or men that are unique to being a man and a woman. So you can call yourself whatever you want. You can do whatever you want with your life, but we should be able to just acknowledge basic facts. Now we're at a point where we can't even say women get pregnant. It's pregnant people. It's like, hold up, like guys can't get pregnant. You know what?
Oh, now it's women with cervixes and no freedoms. I have no idea what you mean.
I'm saying? Like, I'm a female. That was a proud moment for me. Let me have it. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm at with that.
Sometimes I'm going with the YouTube thing and everything.
I love that. I love when people, that's a little, I don't know if you call it a tick, but when you can tell somebody is very deliberate about the way they speak, and when they start talking and you can tell that they are processing, and then something like, not specifically cracking themselves up, but laughing at their own thoughts, it's clear that he already knows what he's going to say. He's not just word vomiting. And that is what I was saying before, that even as a non-native English speaker, he's very deliberate with his words, which is how I think Abba and Preach exist kind of on the fringe of what people would call the manosphere. And, as he explicitly said, as they've explicitly said many times, they don't consider themselves a red pill. They don't want to be associated with the red pill, but they do a lot of men-centric content, and I like that description. I put myself in that same category, just because I don't want to be pulled in with the fresh and fits of the world and the DJ academics of the world, for sure.
If you learn to play by the rules, there's certain words that you cannot say and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
You have to go around, say certain things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Big tech. We love you.
You know what I mean? So there's always things like that you have to go around.
I went through that with COVID. Don't even go there.
Yeah, I know. You know what?
I know.
Exactly. You said what you said. you said what you said. So we've been through it, right? So there's some words that you cannot say. There's some things that you have to, and you always have to find a way to go around them, right? In order to get the message out there. So that's why I use female and male and female. I don't say women's sports. I don't say male sports. I say female sports, male sports.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on the bathroom?
Ooh, girl,
issues?
I forgot you was there.
I'm sorry. I'm here today. Hello. I'm sorry.
It's all good.
But I wanted to know, what are your thoughts? Because I know you're kind of like neutral. You do what you want to do. But what are your thoughts when it comes to the bathrooms?
In the bathroom?
Well, typically, I only use it when I got a pee-pee or poo-poo. But sometimes I wash my hands and shower too.
In a perfect world, which we don't live in. In a perfect world.
You know what every single person has in their house? Many people, multiple of them in their house? Gender neutral bathrooms.
Everybody should have a male, a female.
Okay.
Women.
They have that a lot of places. The family bathroom, where, like, if it's a father with a daughter or a mother with a son, you can go, especially younger, you need to change the diaper, or they're, like if you're a mother and you just can't leave your son just like out in the mall. They have family bathrooms for that. I don't know how this ever became an issue. And then you, even to be fair, on the other side, what bathroom do you think trans people were using before we were talking about the bathrooms that they were using? So I absolutely believe that there is from the alphabet mafia, there is an attack on women's spaces. Maybe if feminism wasn't so toxic, then I'd be a little bit more sympathetic. But because I am a principled person, I do believe that a biological male does not belong in a women's bathroom. However, I see the issue with why a trans woman would not want to go into the men's bathroom. That makes a lot of sense. So we can be sensitive to this subject without having to kowtow. Yes, I understand you feel unsafe in the men's bathroom. Or whatever. However, you are not the only person in the world. We don't make laws based on the one individual. We make laws based on the collective. Yeah, it's a full-time job to try to do that. No Freedom says, I'm okay with trans taking over women's spaces. Women already took over men. And what do we think about that? You're okay with women taking over men's spaces? That's cool with you? That's a good thing? That's benefited society? This is a childish way to look at the world. Well, they did it, so we should do it back. This is the whole argument of not actually CRT, but what people are calling CRT. Ibram X. Kendi. The only solution, talking about solutions, the only solution to past discrimination is what? Present discrimination. Does that sound like a good fucking idea? Well, there was racists back in the day, and there's still some now. So to fight that, we're going to become bigger racists. That'll fix the problem. Will it though?
I'm not ready to take away the safety of women. I'm talking about how they feel in certain situations. Because let's remember, feminism is about that. That's what it was, right? We want safety for women. I thought, that's
not anymore.
That's what we're doing. That's what we're supposed to be.
That's what it was supposed to be.
That's what it was supposed to be. I'll go with that. So I'm not ready to sacrifice that for something else. So, but I'm gonna try to find the compromise. So you want to have your bathroom? Right. That's okay. That's gonna be your bathroom.
Yep.
But they don't feel safe. I'm not ready to say fuck it, fuck them. What? Okay, so you don't want us to say fuck them to you, but you say fuck them to them?
Right.
This is when it stopped becoming about equality and becoming about special treatment. Feminism is not about equality. It used to be, arguably. Definitely the suffragettes were just asking for the right to vote. And even a lot of women didn't fucking want it. But they fought, and I think it's right that if you are an adult who contributes to society, regardless of your gender, even if you're a Z, you still live in this country. You are still a human. You might be fucked up in the head, and you might be pretty stupid. But that doesn't mean that you don't get the right to participate in our democratic republic. Like this is how many people would say that about you, dude? What kind of world do we live in when this is just like, well, I just feel like No Freedoms needs to get punched in the face. So it is what it is. That's the world you want to live in? Didn't think so.
You became the enemy. You became the same thing that you were pointing the finger at. So, right, you need to have your bathroom. You need to, you need to do your things. And there are some things that, for example, trans people have. There's something that's very specific to them, and I do not want to deny that. But I'm not ready to. I don't want to deny what's going on with
you gotta agree, disagree then.
women either.
Yes, like the respect only goes one way, right?
And I do not want to deny what's going on with men either.
That's right.
So,
yeah,
if women don't feel safe in certain situations, I'm just gonna shut up sometimes and sit down and say, okay, what's the issue? Tell me what's going on. I don't know. That's
another position where I'm interested in removing myself from the red pill manosphere label. Because I definitely went through a red pill rage stage, but now that I'm past that, as just a cog's talking about, everybody wanted to throw punches. I don't want to do anything, and exactly, it doesn't solve anything. There's more power in not letting someone walk all over you and being able to show self-control, which is what? A sign of masculinity. Not exclusively, but certainly in a man takes masculinity to have that self-control. Ryan said, Democrats and Republicans are two wings of the same bird. Yep. That is why I talk so much about the Libertarian Party. Maybe, just maybe, in the next 2 years, we can actually make legislative change by supporting a third party that we know, or third party candidate that we know will not be the president, but that will get enough support that they cannot be ignored. And so when it comes time that, okay, Libertarian, you're not going to win, who are you throwing your 25% of the country's support behind? The left or the right? And what is it going to take for them to curry your favor? Maybe you need to drop some of these mandates. Maybe you need to drop some of these regulations. Maybe you need to get out of this war. Yeah. I take 1 week to review YouTube contact. Oh, yeah. Well, maybe do a little more. Just saying. Democrats and Republicans. We got that one already. No freedom, statisticog. And that is why we are heading to I assume you mean World War III. And a lot of people are starving and dying now. You might not like it, but violence created change. Mankind only knows pain. You're not wrong. But this is the goal of humanity, is to move away from having to do this, to having to enact change through violence. That's what God wants people to do. But we've evolved beyond that silly notion that you need violence to create change. You can create change with entertainment, with ideas, with thought, with speech. Well, unless, of course, you're censored. Come on.
But then again, if man tell me they don't feel safe in certain situations because it happens, because we see men like, oh yeah, we're strong and we big and this and that. No, when we're scared, it's often not physical. Mm-hmm. It's we're gonna lose careers, we're gonna lose this, we're gonna lose that. I'm gonna shut up and sit down and listen.
Shout out to Cog. Born in a life of chaos, I'd rather do better. That is the kind of mentality we should all have, whether or not we were born into life of chaos or not. And that's what's going to bring you out of it. So cheers to you. Guys, if you're just joining us, we are checking out Just Preach, not Abba, but Preach of Abba and Preach. Long-form conversation where I've never heard him speak long-form before. Divine Rod says, if we don't end DC... I don't know. DC. What is DC? The managerial class that operates there and the Federal Reserve, like Washington, D.C.? If we don't end D.C., the managerial class that operates there and the Federal Reserve, it won't work. Well, won't work. The Constitution never anticipated that we would hand over our rights like that. I don't know what you're talking about, bro. Indie Film said libertarians need to join the Republican Party and steer it in their direction. Most Republicans are already libertarian leaning. This is precisely why the libertarians should not join the Republican Party. They are different. And you are correct that many Republicans, I would say, again, nitpicking, but I would say conservatives, if I was going to write the sentence the way it is. But I would agree that most conservatives already lean libertarian. But the Republican Party is run by rhinos. It is run by people who have been in office since before I was alive. So it doesn't really fucking matter what the voters say when they've got the whole thing down on lock. So that's why we need the third party to come in and have the power to say, okay, well, again, we're not going to win the election, but we're sure as shit taking a lot of votes from you. So if you want those votes, you can get them, bro. But what are you going to do for us, the people, in return? This is precisely why we need to back the Libertarian Party. Because likely, most people who are backing the Libertarian Party today will, in fact, vote Republican in the general election. But if people like myself just go straight to the GOP, well, it's just going to be more of leftist speed bumps. That's what the fuck the GOP is. A goddamn speed bump for leftist ideology. Conservatism, libertarianism, those are different. Those are what need to be injected into the Republican Party. And it's not going to be done from within. It's just not.
But this is the crux of it, because what you're saying essentially comes back down to men and women are different. Even the things we fear, guys aren't going to think about physical safety in the same way that a petite woman like I would.
agree.
It's just,
You sure about that? Because I'm going to place a bet, Jedediah, that you're taller than me. And let's get a look at these guns. At 40, I think she said she's 41 years old. She's definitely not stronger than me. But I would be a more likely target than she would, simply for being a man. And then you bring my height into it, and it's like, oh, open season on the brown hobbit over here.
just a reality.
I
So
agree.
Is it though?
you got to deal in reality. So you can be respectful of everybody's life choices as adults and be like, do what you want, but reality still exists. So I'm taking issue with the people that want to toss out reality because it's inconvenient for them. I want to ask you about the dating world, though. So I've been talking a lot about, what women
Nobody just saw that?
actually want in a long-term partner, what guys actually want in a long-term partner. I want to ask you,
Oh, man. Dashawn, this would have been perfect for you. He literally wrote the book on this. But let's see where we go.
when guys look at, when they're out there dating and they're looking for a wife, they have in their mind, I want to get married, I want to date.
Darshan, if you're still here, I would, when we talk later, I would love to hear your thoughts on this specific part. If you are, so I'm at 238 on my count. The video itself is at 32:22.
Someone seriously, I want a serious relationship. What do you think appeals to them from women? And I'll tell you what I think first, then you can tell me if I'm right or if you disagree. I think guys appreciate loyalty. I think they look for someone who's going to be loyal. I think they're visual, so physically attractive. It has to be someone that you're drawn to physically. And I think,
Wait a minute. Did she just say that you've got to be attracted physically? I thought it was fatphobic or transphobic or shortphobic or something. I thought, no, okay, well, she said it.
self-respect, women who have self-respect and have respect for you is really important. Those would be my top three. What do you think guys look for in a woman that they want to be serious about? Be honest.
I think you're generally right. Generally.
Mhm.
Then again, there's always some people that are looking for other things. But generally, yeah. I mean,
Do you guys care about a woman's career?
Nope.
no. Next subject.
Yeah, they don't. It's hard to swallow.
No,
They
it's
don't.
not
They
hard to
don't.
swallow. It's just
No, it's
that
hard to
just
swallow
all-
for some.
I got a PhD.
I
women.
know.
But it's
That's
true.
what I was about to say. It's just that all this time for the past decade and a half, I've been hearing, I'm a survivor. You know that Beyonce song. And it's fine. It's cool. It's woo, girl. It's not damn. I go there, dance to it, couple of drinks. It's cool. So, but all this time that, and it is a hard thing to swallow.
Not for me, but it's some.
My girl, at some point, used to have promotions every 6 months,
Mhm.
right? And I love that. Why? Because I don't care. I love it. I love when she get promotions. She does good at her job.
I
And
love it.
She was doing great and stuff like that. And yeah, I was just proud of her. I was happy for her because that's what she wanted.
Mhm.
She, you feel accomplished. You're doing your job. Your job is right. You see that your partner is, the eyes like, yeah, I did that. I'm happy for the person that does good. My girl is good. I'm happy.
Mhm.
You're doing 3 times my salary. I'm happy.
So I want to go through this. Let's go back. So No Freedoms originally says, chaos creates order, and order creates chaos, and then references the fourth turning. No Freedom says the pendulum does not, it doesn't have to swing wildly. If people were more balanced within themselves, they will be more likely to raise or inspire more balanced people, and so forth. Freedom says it's like me saying if people had wings, could control fire and space. I don't think it is. But yeah, and just God said, well, not with that attitude. Be the change you want to see. This is the difference between optimism and pessimism, or even realism and pessimism. I'm going to go out on a limb and think and say that No Freedoms, you probably consider yourself a realist, but this is straight pessimism, because this is not analogous to societal culture and how it's changing. Because people don't have wings. People do have the capability to be balanced. People do have the ability to listen. People do have the ability to understand concepts if they take the time. So that if people had wings, those are two very different things. Very different things. The pendulum don't care about us or how we feel. It's going to do as it always does. Time is infinite, but not the things in it. So why should I care? Because you're here. You're here. Whether you like it or not, you're here. Why wouldn't you care? What is not caring? How is that benefiting you? And then sure, turn the question around and ask how caring is benefiting me, and I will have an answer for you. But how is not caring benefiting you? I would love to hear that from you.
My shit up. Yeah. And I felt that. Now I got that. I'm cool. I feel good. But at the end of the day, I was like, I'm happy because you're happy.
Right.
I believe that's what love is. You know what I mean? I was happy because she
But
was happy
I
because she
love
was
it.
In her work, it was going well, and that's great. But if I talk about me, I still want to be able to pull my weight.
Mhm.
I don't want to go to a restaurant all the time and then she's like, yeah, no, I got it. Oh, shit.
Mhm.
I want to be able to. So, no, we don't care. Most
Right.
of them, we don't care. We don't care. If you have, and I don't know, we don't know where it. I'm talking to we as Abba here. Because we just did a video about that.
That's so funny. Oh man, just the I don't know why I'm explaining this, but just the mannerisms you get into when you're talking and you're in this context. That's funny. That's funny to me, probably not to you. But again, fully agree with just a cog here. Freedom says in ancient Greek, it was a god, I believe, who would push Sisyphus. You're talking about Sisyphus, who would push a rock up a hill. The rock would always fall and kill. Nope. Well, obviously, if he killed the god, then he wouldn't be able to push back up again. So the tale of Sisyphus is that he was sentenced to push a boulder up a mountain, and so no matter how much he would push it, eventually it would roll back down. So again, I ask you, even if you lived the life of Sisyphus, what benefit would come to you from not trying to roll the boulder up the hill? And to add on to that, what benefit do you get that you don't get from actually living a life of purpose? Exactly. With that logic, we should all just sit and do nothing. Because why should we care? Nothing exists. Nothing is real. We're all going to die. There's no God. There's no afterlife. Why should we do anything? Because I want to. I would love to see a video of you trying to destroy a boulder. That I would pay pay-per-view prices for.
It was a woman going around like a college campus, and she was asking a bunch of, I was about to say women, but it's really kids, right?
Mhm.
They're in college, university, whatever. And it was like, well, what was the salary that they would want a man? And we realized two things. First, they're just financially illiterate. They don't know.
Oh, I know the video. We covered it.
Yeah,
I know
exactly.
it.
You don't,
I know
you
it.
just,
Y'all have definitely seen this because I know a bunch of people have covered this. I know Pearl did it. I know I think It's Complicated, or actually I think it was when Pearl was on It's Complicated. Anyway, but they ask, it's this typical street talking video, and they're like, how much does what's the minimum a guy needs to make for you to marry him or date him or whatever? And of course, they're all throwing out random numbers that they just don't know. They just heard six figures, $100,000. One chick said $400,000 a year, like just crazy shit. And just like Jedediah said, just completely financially illiterate, having no idea what anything beyond the number in your bank account actually means. It's, where is your father? Struggle streaming.
I can't go on these women and be like, man, you're delusional, this, that. You're just financially illiterate. You don't know. Some of them were like, I don't know, 500K, is that okay, man?
1 mil, 2 mil.
1 mil, 2 mil. I was like, listen, baby girl, honey bunny bunch.
And remember, we're talking about college kids who are thinking other college kids should be making $100,000 a year. Otherwise, not good enough. And what that really means is that I ain't fucking with no broke bitch. I need a man who can take care of me because I'm worth it. I am the prize. Are you though? Ram says the meaning of insanity is to do the same thing over and over and expect change. I'm tired of being insane. So change what you are doing, my friend. Clearly what you are doing is not working. That doesn't mean do nothing. That means do something else. So I just wipe the map clean and start over. Yeah, that's life. Welcome to life, buddy. I mean, I get what he means. Is that it's, okay, this path didn't work, and so I'm gonna scrap that idea and try again. That is life. So you can either do that, or you can do that. It's up to you. I mean, shit. I'm not gonna cry if you just want to sit in your house and just starve to death and do nothing. Like, okay, that's your choice. But if you are asking why other people don't want to do that, it's because we want to do stuff. We want some sort of enjoyment. And of course, life sucks. And then you die. But there are moments in between. Isn't it you who said everything's not going to be okay? You have to make it okay? Wasn't that you? Am I bugging here? You definitely said that. I'm going all the way back to the top. I know it was you. We're gonna pull this. I'm gonna go meta here. I'm pulling the whole thing. All right. Boom, 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 boom. I know it was one of you guys with a darker profile picture. Almost there. If I can't find it in 10 seconds, I'm going to move on. All right, I can't find it. But I'm pretty sure that was you. Was it not? Somebody said that. Oh. Just burn my eyes with all that white on the screen. I don't know how people don't use dark mode, but like, you see this? My eyes are tearing just from looking at this same screen on here. Not that I don't have a bunch of other lights in my face, but anyway, yeah. So that's the point. Like, if you're saying everything's not just going to be okay, you have to make it okay, but also you're not going to do anything to make it okay, well, that's why it's not okay. So try doing something else to make it okay. And if that doesn't work, try something else to make it okay. And what do you think I'm going to say if that doesn't work? Try something else. Or just sit around and do nothing and starve to death. Chicago says, and with the insanity these days, yeah, it's likely because people don't choose to do better. Absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, this is the argument that No Freedoms is making, is that, well, I'm just going to sit around and do nothing because that's why. Says, I believe the only way. All right, Bill Gates. So we got an internationalist here. I've learned that the word globalist, according to the leftists, is now anti-Semitic. I don't know what that says about what they think about the Jews, but you can't say globalist. So okay, No Freedoms is an internationalist. That's why he is so dissuaded with normal life. Maybe stop worrying about like how the whole world is gonna be fixed, and just worry about how you can be happier like 10 minutes from now. Try that. See how that works out for you.
Honey, with a slice of lime and a cherry on top. When I started working.
Wait, what do we just miss? I gotta get that reaction in full.
I don't know, 500K. Is that okay, man?
1 mil, 2 mil.
1 mil, 2 mil. I was like, listen, baby girl, honey bunny bunch, honey with a slice of lime and a cherry on top. When I started working, I was 15 years old. I worked for the equivalent of a Six Flags. My base salary was $6.80 an hour. I don't know where.
Yeah. 1 mil.
I don't even know what you think. What kind of work you think you would have to do to get to $500,000.
But if you look, I mean, that video is true. Some of them were just lost in space.
But even the girl that said, I don't know, 35,000, even she was, she didn't know.
She didn't know what 35K means.
She didn't know what that meant.
But if you ask women, and I went through like a bunch of videos on these,
the
generally, they will say hi.
It's not because they generally all think that. It's because they are specifically financially illiterate. And the only figure that's anchored in their mind is to say six figures, is to say $100,000. Anyone says, that supports my feelings with the Libertarian Party. Been a fan and a follower of them since the 80s. And since they've always said the same thing that you're saying now, nothing ever changes. But that's why the Mises Caucus is different. They've overhauled the entire party. This is what, this is the type of stuff specifically that I want to talk about. But I feel like you guys are just going to get bored by it, so I don't bring it up. But come to, we're gonna bring up some. I'm gonna bring up some stuff for you. Come to the panel, Indie Film. I think this is what I'm really passionate about. I think you'll really appreciate it. Obviously not super relevant to what we're doing right now, but come to the panel and we'll go through like some Dave Smith, some Scott Horton stuff that is showing that the Mises Caucus is specifically consciously different, that Angela McArdle is so disgusted with the way that Gary Johnson ran, the way that Joe Jorgensen ran, and their whole ilk it's a new thing. The same way that in the Republican Party you have the Mitch McConnells, but you also have the Ron DeSantis, the MTGs, the Matt Gaetz. That's happening in the Libertarian Party. But because it's a smaller party and because it's not part of the uniparty, that change can be real. That change can happen a lot more quickly. And with that quickness, we can speed up the change of the new right, the new conservatives. That ideology can be fast-tracked as well as injected with libertarian values if the Libertarian Party has a voice. You want to talk about things being the same? And you're talking about voting for Republicans. Because that's changed so much since 1619. The Republicans have just been all over the place, doing everything. Oh, wait. No, they haven't. See, it works a lot better when it goes right back into the thing. I really hate that. I don't know what's going on. We never did this. It would just start.
The problem is when they're out of college, out of university, they're 27, 28, 29, 30,
Yeah.
and they still want 500K.
Well, let me ask you.
And that is the part, when they get out of college. I remember in 2017 watching all the Berkeley riots for Ben Shapiro, for Milo, and for all these people. And remembering, these silly kids. Wait till they get to the real world and they actually have to deal with that. They took over. They won. For now. But vote libertarian, maybe they won't. Who knows?
Because that's the other side of this argument is, what do women actually want from a guy that they're looking at when they're thinking
money?
This is a guy I want to marry. And I put financial stability on there. I think that's 100% true. I think they like a guy who is going to be able to protect her and the family. Not somebody, a robber comes, you want to feel like your guy has it, And I also think that women like to feel physically safe and emotionally safe. Meaning,
yeah, like that's totally a woman thing. Like, I don't know if you'd be able to understand as a man, but like, there's this thing about not feeling like you're in physical danger. That's a good thing. Men, you couldn't understand what that could possibly be like. You have no experience with violence. And when it comes to emotional safety, well, of course, you can just cry in front of the world and everybody will, is everything okay? But we know when a woman cries, everybody just laughs. What a loser! Do I have that backwards? Where it's the men who don't have the luxury ever of feeling physically safe. This is a desire that you have because it's something that you've experienced. Unless you're, fucking UFC fighter, you are never, as a male, physically safe. There is a constant threat of violence, even in your own home. I live by myself. Somebody could break through that door any second, and I'm going to have to do something. And then emotionally safe. The entire world right now, at least the Western world, is built specifically around the emotional safety of women, minorities, and everyone except white men.
That they don't want their man to bring them stress all the time. They don't want to have to worry if you go out with your guy friends. Like, they don't want that bad boy stress. They don't. Not for the long haul. So I think that those are the things they look for. But financial stability.
So let's go. Just Cox says, guys want to talk about shitty single mothers. My mother was one of those. She literally tried to kill me, told me to end myself, abused a legal loophole to put me in juvie repeatedly for 2 years without ever being charged with a crime, no less. Well, yeah. That sounds like something I would not want to deal with. I am sorry that you had to deal with that. That's shitty. And I like I said, I have my mommy issues. And even though my dad is not what we would refer to as an alpha type, his presence definitely quelled what my mom was able to do to me. So I'm really sorry that happened to you. Well, hold on. Let me read this first. Yeah, I'm not putting that up. Any film said, dude, men are only allowed to cry when listening to Cats in the Cradle or watching Band of Brothers. Facts. Or no, we added one to the list. You can have, let's say you can have 3 movies. There's 3 movies. You got, it can be any combination of Band of Brothers, Marley, if you're a dog person. Field of Dreams. Rudy. And for the younger ones, Click. Adam Sandler, I don't give a fuck. If you don't cry at the end of Click, you're on some shit. Friday Night Lights. Yep, there you go. That's a better answer than Click. But I agree. I still stand by Click.
Ability is
But
on the list for women, but it's not.
So I definitely agree with that. But I'm a little bitch when it comes to movies. I will cry, like not like sob, but like anything that has to do with like kids and their parents and like previously not being understood, and then like there's some moment that always fucks with me. I don't play games like that, but from what I understand of the cinematic nature of more recent video games, I'm with it. Yeah, I'm not. You don't have to justify yourself here at all. That's yeah, no freedoms. I'm gonna ask you to slow your roll. She's sharing a personal experience, and you don't know the story, so I don't think she's asking you for your sympathy. So she's just sharing her experience. So why don't we just slow your roll?
Guys aren't looking at women that way because, as you said, with your situation and with others, guys are going to feel like, I want to pull weight no matter what. So my girl's making 100K, I want to pull weight. My girl's making 20K, I want to pull. My girl's making 500K.
Again, that
See, I was of the mentality before I was red pill that like, well, if all these boss bitches are making all this money, then let me be stay-at-home daddy. I would still love to do that. Just, stream with you guys, have a family, spend time with my children, watch them grow up. I think that would be awesome. But of course, if I have a wife or a partner that's going out and working and bringing in money every day, what I never understood before was that romantic love, as is portrayed in Disney movies and rom-coms, does not exist, at least for most people. And that situation would not last long. I know some people do it, but probably not. It's gonna be hard on my. Are these other movies we can cry to? Hey, I cry to a lot of movies, TV show. If I'm watching something and I'm involved, there's reality shows that I will drop a tear. I don't give a fuck, and that is the most masculine thing you can say. The most masculine thing you can say.
I'm not talking here for all the guys. I believe it's very similar.
Oh, it's.
I believe it's very similar.
Most guys.
Yeah, most guys. But I'm just talking for me.
No, I know.
Right. But yeah, and there's a really not a disconnect, but it's a weird thing where, you said financial stability. It's like at some point they want financial stability, but you have to draw the line between financial stability and luxury.
Right, it's like
500K.
It's stability with a cherry.
500K. That's not a cherry. That's a whole ass apple tree.
It's some cherries. It's some chocolate sauce.
Cherry. It's some chocolate sauce.
Sprinkles.
Yeah, but they always say like shoot higher and you may land on something a little bit lower.
It's unrealistic too, though.
Hey, we got Salty Plays in the building. Says who's gonna stop me? A vegan? I'll put a burger in your mouth. What the fuck are you talking about? Welcome, brother.
Combined income. You're fine. You got the stability right there. And if you want your man to do 500K or 200K, that's not stability, baby girl.
Well, it depends where you live, though.
I'm not talking to you.
No, that's cool. Don't worry. Literally nothing depends me on life.
I mean, it's stability plus. Stability plus.
But it depends where you live. It depends where you live. Because think about it. Like, you live in Manhattan. You live in New York City. Your salary needs to be much higher than if you live in a beautiful town. Yeah. Well, not 5. I would say
I got my family living in New York.
Not 500K.
They don't make 500K.
I mean, I lived in New York City making under 100K at one point, and I was okay. But my space was small. You got to live within your means at that.
That's crazy. I can't both of my siblings live in Philly, not as expensive as New York City, of course, but like the prices you pay for the environment that you're in. No, thank you. Got some comments here. Myron said, had a girlfriend cry when Bart begged Homer not to jump the Springfield Gorge on his skateboard. My humble opinion, the funniest scene ever when he falls to clear the gorge. Yeah, I mean, sometimes shit just be hitting you in a weird way. If you a bitch, then you'd be like, oh, no, I can't. But if you're comfortable in your masculinity, then, you know, I mean, you're not going to be bawling like, hey, guys, like, she just wants to get it out. But, like, oh, fuck. Like, I can feel that. I can feel that emotion. I can let it, I can experience that emotion. And I'm still the same man that I was before that happened. It's the you know, again, going back to the media portrayals, you have on one extreme the dumb doting husband, and then on the other side you have the toxic masculinity dude. And so in either case, you're not allowed to cross paths. Either you are a beta provider where you have no power and yes, honey, whatever you say, honey. Did you want some like and I Love You Man when he's in the kitchen and he brings, I made you guys some milkshakes with fucking pirouettes in them. Like, wow. She does not respect you when you do that.
That's another thing. Yeah, luxury. They want the beautiful doorman builds. But maybe that's what they want then, because they're envisioning.
Is it though?
There were some of these girls that were like, oh, I have my skincare routine and my vacation and I'm expensive.
What's up, Doc? You said your skincare routine? Then take care of your skincare.
I
love it.
I love it.
Self-confidence. Well, it's self. You handle it.
Yeah. I want to talk to you a little bit about, not politics in terms of issues, but we started the show with
politics. Let's get it.
Talking about your channel and that one of the things that you feel is appealing.
We've been going for a minute. Damn. All right. So we are halfway through the video. So we got a couple options. I'm just seeing this new Q&A feature on YouTube. So we have 3 options. We have 4 options. 1, we can go to either the Q&A or the panel and save the rest of this for another show. We can say, okay, we kind of got what we want out of this. Let's skim it and see if there's anything else, and then go to the Q&A panel. Or we can finish it, but there's going to be no panel. So I'm taking the first 3 people, whatever the majority decision. Or if we get 3 different options, then we're going 4th. So we're sitting here. So if you have an opinion, please let us know. Because we're all waiting. We're all waiting. I mean, I may as well play this while we're waiting, but of course, why would it play? Why would it play when I press the play button? It's almost like I bought this specifically because it has this button that when you press it, it plays.
Is that you're not agenda driven and you're not like Republican, you know, you're just kind of giving your opinion.
Yeah. But let me know. What do you guys want to do? Because I'm down to finish this, but if we do that, then I'm not doing a panel.
That's not the place that the world is in right now, though. It's very divided, very polarized.
All right, so we got Trey with a panel. If somebody else says panel, and IndieFilm says Q&A. So if anybody wants to finish this, now is the time to say that you want to finish this. I'm guessing that we're gonna go either Q&A here or panel in Discord. But whoever is the 3rd vote, if it's one of those, you win.
Polarized, very my team versus your team. So I'm curious to ask you though, do you think that 2 people could be in a relationship and be politically opposite, super Republican, super Democrat, super conservative, super liberal, and make it work?
Yeah, I think it's possible.
You do. I do not think
I think it's possible. It's going to be difficult, but I think it's possible. Are you going to face hurdles? Absolutely. I think it's possible. I think it's possible that it depends on the people.
Thank you so much for stopping by, Divine and Rod. I appreciate you being here, and I loved all the comments. Thank you so much. Please remember to like the video on your way out, and I will see you. Wait, whoa, Dividing Rod. Why have you not joined the Discord yet? We're all in there waiting for you. Like, yo, where's Divine and Raw? Last time we were talking about, I forget what it was now, but you had some awesome comment, and we wanted to talk about it. We were talking about it, and you just weren't there. So we got another vote for the panel. So we are going. I'm just going to finish whatever the topic they're talking about, close it out, and then we're heading over to Discord. It is free. It is free. That means $0. So just go in the description, click the link. I think you got to put like an email or a phone number or one or the other or something. It is free. And then you'll have access to me 24/7, as well as all the other people who are in there. And we are building a community. Right now, we not too many people are in the voice channel if I'm not there, but it's getting there. We're going to have, I was showing some other people around a different server. We're going to have basically a 24/7 live stream where you can just pop in and it's a panel 24/7. So just fucking join. Just fucking join. All right, let's finish this up and head to the panel.
Who are in those situations and who are like that. You know what I mean? And how they deal with their relationship and stuff. I think it's a possibility.
I think that's very, very optimistic, but here's why I think it doesn't work. I don't think it works. I had a relationship like that early on, but I was very young, so it was a little bit different. But I think that right now the extremes see the world so differently. You know, it's like I want kids to be able to determine their own gender at birth versus your boy, your girl, and the story. What are we talking about? It's super, pro freedom. You should be able to, get the medical treatment you want versus pro mandate. Like you have to get this to enter a restaurant. So I feel like because so many people do exist in those extremes now.
We talk about race a lot. I don't remember what you said, but that's why you need to join the Discord.
Your worldview clashes so much that if you try to raise a child with that person, or you try to put them in the school system, or you try to, there's just too much of this.
Again, like I said, I think it's possible.
You got to really love that person.
It's going to be harder, definitely. And what I mean by that is that, yes, your percentage is going to be of success is going to decrease. I think so. Yeah.
But you'd be unlikely to be drawn to them maybe to begin with. I wonder if you're more drawn to people initially. That's true.
It depends what we don't need to go.
So different strokes for different folks. Different strokes for different folks. I think the underlying theme here is something we are quite familiar with. It's just modern dating, the way women are treated versus the way men are treated in society. I don't feel like I have any grandiose, deep analysis here. This was a fruitful conversation between the two of them. I definitely appreciated getting to know Preach better because, like I said, through Destiny's channel, I've heard hours and hours and hours of Abba speaking for himself and not, for the channel, not for any type of, not for the views, not for anything like that. Clearly, Darshan, if you're still listening, you have a little bit more research to do on Abba, or you are unfairly applying your expectation of everybody to make whatever change in the world simply because they have a bigger platform. I don't think that means they have inherently a greater responsibility to change the world. I think they can. I think they should. I agree with you on that, but I don't think it's their responsibility. If they just want to entertain, and I am willing to fund their livelihood by being entertained, and I can watch for free, and they get the ad. That's how entertainment works. So it caught me a little off guard because I don't hear this talk about people in Hollywood who actually have money and actually have a real platform, and not just 1 million people, but 8 million people that they can talk to, 100 million people that they can talk to. So I don't know why a decently sized, but a YouTube channel, independent YouTube channel is being tasked with fixing the world. But maybe I'll find out, and maybe we can continue that conversation. So Discord is where we're going to do it. Like I said, the description is the link is in the description. As soon as this is over, that is where I am headed. So if you would like to continue the conversation, if you just want to listen, you can come in. But absolutely, you are free to talk. It is an open panel, and we're not on YouTube, so we can say whatever the fuck we want. Also in the description, guys, as long as rolling across the bottom of the screen. You know we are on the road to 1K, but we are not quite there. I believe that we can get there by the end of the year. That gives us 2 months, less than 2 months, but I think we can get there. But I need your help. And until then, I'm definitely hurting in the pockets. So if you would like to support the channel because you are enjoying what you are watching, you can hit me on Venmo, CashApp, PayPal, Bitcoin, and all that stuff is also in the description. But you don't have to do any of that. You don't have to do any of that because it is completely free for you to just come and meet me here every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. and just chat with me. If that's all you want to do, that is great with me. That's great with me. And you know what else is free? It's free to like, to comment, to subscribe, to ring that bell and change the notifications, even though they don't work. It is free for you to be the notification. It's free to take the URL of this video and post it on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, other places on YouTube, WeChat, whatever the fuck. It's free. And I'm putting my all into this. And I really want to build something special for you guys. But I need your help. I need your help. I can't do it without you. So I really hope that, I'm doing what you want me to do. And if I'm not, come in Discord and let me know what you would like me to do. I'm not promising I'll do it, but I sure as shit will listen. Thank you so much for hanging out, guys. I love this. I love this so much. I appreciate you guys so much. And I really hope that you'll continue to come back and we can continue to fucking party every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. I am your party host, Lutch, a.k.a. the Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. Until next time, guys, thank you so much. I am out of here. Peace.